to 60 feet long. We can do insulation, electricity, transom dormers, thermal windows. Come, let's customize a building together. Rick Vossen, Stormore Portable Building Dealer, Panama City.
eBay Motors is here for the ride. 120,000 miles of night drives, daily commutes, and who knows how many.
Are we there yet?
Through countless fixes, elbow grease, and a new radiator, you kept your ride alive. With eBay Motors, you have over 122 million parts to keep it running. And with eBay Guaranteed Fit, they'll be the perfect fit every time. Plus, at these prices, well, we're burning rubber, not cash. Keep your ride or die alive at ebaymotors.com. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply.
WPLQ Port St. Joe, WGSX Lynn, powered by Panama City Toyota.
ESPN Northwest Florida.
It's the next evolution of sports talk radio. The biggest stories and the biggest reactions.
Now.
And now we're taking
With the first pick.
It's the last ball you got to bat.
the inside drive. From college to the pros, interviews with the newsmakers, sports betting, your phone calls, and more. And now, the Inside Drive with Ryan Mulvey. Broadcasting from the Bill Kramer Chevrolet Buick GMC and Kramer Marine Outdoor Studios on ESPN Northwest Florida.
Hoagies and grinders, hoagies and grinders, navy beans, navy beans. Hoagies and grinders, hoagies and grinders, navy beans, meatloaf sandwich. Sloppy Joe, sloppy, sloppy Joe, yeah. Sloppy Joe, sloppy Joe, yeah.
I can't think of a better way to start off this Friday here on the Inside Drive. That was beautiful, Jay Henley. You're going to play us intro music all day on Fun Friday. That was spectacular.
It's a fun Friday, right?
That was spectacular. Way to kick off the day. I don't know where to go from there as you set the bar pretty high for today's show, but you are listening to the Inside Drive live here on ESPN Northwest Florida. 104.3 in Panama City Beach, 101.9 in Port St. Joe along the beautiful Forgotten Coast. You can check us out, watch and listen on Facebook, X, and YouTube. Just do the old search up for ESPN Northwest Florida. And, of course, download that free mobile app inside the Google Play or Apple Store. That one you do need to search 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida. And last but not least, check out our TikTok page, inside.drive. Interact with us. Follow some fun clips that we have. I need to get a few more on there. We got a lot of good content from this week that I'll certainly get on there. But, Jay, how are you doing today?
Doing mighty fine.
That was fantastic. Way to start us off on a high note.
Lunch Ladyland.
Lunch Ladyland. That's the best. I didn't know. I had no idea you were going that direction, but if you didn't, now looking back on it, if you didn't go that direction, I realized I would have been disappointed.
Do you remember any of your lunch ladies back in the day?
I remember what they look like, but I don't necessarily remember the names.
I got you.
I had some good lunch ladies. Starting
Yes,
it
sir.
off for a long time with my mom.
Right.
You should remember that one. Yeah.
And then I
Breakfast,
think
lunch, and dinner.
my favorite one from like actually going to school, I think her name was Miss Cynthia. So she
Nice.
was awesome. Yeah.
They make the world go round. That's for sure.
Did your school use the ice cream scoopers for the mashed potatoes?
I think that's also called a mashed potato scooper.
Oh, is it? I thought it was an ice cream
It's
scooper.
a dual purpose kitchen tool.
Oh, okay. All right.
There you go. I think a lot of restaurants, too, that you may not realize. Why do they always come out on a nice little perfect ice cream scoop mashed potato? Unless they're too runny.
Oh, yeah.
Nobody wants runny mashed potatoes.
No. Give them to me hard.
There you go.
Yeah.
There you go. Again, starting off this Friday on a high note, that is for sure. We need a poll question, Jay. Think about it while I talk about some of these awesome contests that we've got going on. That starts with the Race to Talladega. Today is the last day this week. If you listen to the Coach James Hale show this morning at 7:15 and 8:15, you would have heard the keyword. Then you texted it in to 850-215-6290. We got all the names. We'll randomly generate a name coming up at 12:15. When I call your name, you give us a call, 850-215-6290, and your time to get to us will be your qualifying time. It is, if it's faster than yesterday's 2-second qualifying time, which it can be, because what can you beat 2 with, Jay?
One.
Bingo.
Yes.
So you can make that happen. You'll get a pair of tickets to the Geico 500. If you don't, we still have one more week next week that contest will be running. So you will definitely have an opportunity to still get a chance there. But there's a formula there. You got to have the number typed out. You got to be listening, and you got to hit that green button as soon as you hear your name. And David Hayes will answer that phone and get you on that leaderboard. So don't forget about that. That's going to be an awesome time coming up 2 weeks from this Sunday up there, April 21st. Also, don't want to forget this one. It's getting kind of big. We're getting close to that 20 mark over there in the ESPN Northwest Florida Blast at Bay Point, which is tied directly to Masters Fantasy Golf. It's going to take you to the Masters website. Excuse me. It's going to take you to the Masters website where you'll be able to sign up, create an account, and then play some fantasy golf along the line with us.
Jay's music is finally catching up with you.
Hey,
got you
yeah.
all choked up.
Yeah,
over
got me
there.
all choked up. Got me all choked up. But yes, it's fantasy golf, and it's going to have an awesome opportunity to play it. Winner will get a round of 4 at Bay Point Golf Club, and we're working on some other awesome prizes to give out from that. And also Monday, we'll have a winner for the ESPN Northwest Florida Big Bracket Challenge as the Final Four is getting underway this weekend. The ladies' Final Four coming up this evening as well. So a lot of fun stuff going on.
Is Caitlin Clark playing tonight?
Yes.
Is it? Okay.
Yes. We'll talk about that here in the next segment.
Sweet.
Yeah. You excited? You going to watch?
I'm going to watch. I have basketball practice this evening.
Ooh,
Yeah.
getting kicked off. Coach Jay on the hardwood.
We'll see how that goes. But Southern Elite Sports, 6th through 8th grade, I've got a team of 9 and trying to prepare a little speech for them this evening. Just
Speeches are key.
You got to start the season out right, I think. You got
to set the tone.
Yeah. And I think the word's going to be team tonight. You know, how to identify team and, what that represents. And we'll kind of move forward with
I
that.
would say save that till you get a little closer to the games. The word of the day, you can just shrink your speech down to one word: run.
run,
score, defend, all that good stuff. But yes, team's certainly important. Putting the team ahead of yourself is the key to success in those team sports. But that's cool. So your first time coaching basketball,
First time ever.
there you go.
And we'll see how it goes. I've been studying a little bit, but
Good. That's probably important.
it is, yeah. But I always learn. I'll probably learn more from the kids than they'll learn from me. So
There you go.
Yeah.
And that's what it's all about. That is what it's all about, no doubt. Well, that's exciting. I'm excited for you. We'll definitely have to come check out one of your games as, want to see Coach Jay on the hardwood. Used to seeing Coach Jay out on the golf course, but
Yeah.
on the hardwood might be a different story.
see.
Do you guys have your team name officially yet?
the Bucks.
The Bucks. Makes
Yep.
sense because is it all players from Bozeman?
I've got one or two that weren't on the Bucks middle school basketball team this past year, but a majority of them are the middle school Bucks. So we decided just to call the team the Bucks.
Awesome.
Yeah.
I like it.
So
I like
we'll
it.
see.
That's
Looking
good
forward
stuff.
to it.
Yeah, it's going to be fun.
Yeah.
It's going to be fun.
A little nervous, but
There's nothing to be nervous about.
I don't
There's
know.
a winner and a loser in every game, but it's
Yeah.
what they learn, and if they get better, that's all that matters.
Absolutely.
Dynasty football, though, we're pushing the winning too. But we're excited for the summer flag football season coming up. Did you see who is leading the Augusta National Women's Amateur going into the final round tomorrow?
Is it someone from Florida State?
It is.
Ooh,
It's Lottie Wode, and she is currently she is one of 2 players in the first 2 rounds of the entire field of 72 golfers to have 2 rounds under par. As we were talking to Coach Amy Bond yesterday, at the time, Lottie, I think, had just birdied number 9, and then after the show ended, she went on to birdie 3 more holes to shoot a 1 under par 72, getting her 2-day total to -5 after she shot 68 in the first round. So good luck to Lottie Wode. We'll certainly be following along. And Mirabelle Ting as well. She made the cut. She's tied for 5th. So you got 2 of the 3 FSU players that qualified for the Augusta National Women's Amateur in contention over there. They're playing tomorrow. It'll be on TV. They got the practice round today, which is cool. All the players get to go over there and play at Augusta National. But we'll certainly be rooting for Lottie to get the dub because that would be absolutely fantastic.
It will.
If a Florida State golfer was able to win the prestigious Augusta National Women's Amateur. Speaking of the Augusta National Women's Amateur, Jay, did you see I always ask, did you see? Should I ask, did you see, or should I not? Did you see?
Come to learn.
Yeah, you come to learn?
Yeah.
There was a slow play penalty addressed yesterday. I thought I had an article up about it, but maybe I didn't. But yes, one of the golfers in the Augusta National Women's Amateur got assessed a penalty for slow play, and actually that dropped her one shot. And guess what happened?
What?
She missed the cut.
Oh.
This is also the second year in a row she's been assessed a slow play penalty. I don't think last year it affected her missing or making the cut. I don't know where she ended up. But, yes, one-stroke penalty, and she missed the cut.
That's crazy, man.
What do you think?
Well, I don't know. I mean, once you get to 2 in 2 years, I mean, she may have a problem.
May have a common theme going on with that one.
Yeah, she may.
Well, and we talked about yesterday a good bit. She should have abstained. Yeah, absolutely, David Hayes. It would have helped her performance. Although, the article that David sent me, which is very scientific in all seriousness, it says it doesn't matter. Doesn't matter, Jay. What are you doing?
That's it. I'm trying to figure out a good headset.
Sorry. Too much. It's because of the guitar.
Is that what it is?
Yeah, 100%. Better?
So much better.
Oh, I can hear. I can't hear you any better. Doesn't make sense. But yeah, so you can hear now?
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah.
Good. So what I was thinking with this slow play thing is, right, Augusta National now this was at Champions Retreat, but still under the umbrella of the Augusta National Women's Amateur. But, Augusta National invited another live player, gave them an exemption, kind of trying to, we talk about, is Augusta National a body that can bring the game of professional golf together? It also sounds like they're doing some things that, the PGA Tour and some of these other, the major championships are always afraid to do.
Yep.
And that's assess slow play penalties to these guys. And this has happened now twice in the last 2 years. But missing the cut obviously is detrimental. But the slow play penalty is a real thing. There is a rule of golf where it's very black and white what the penalty is for slow play. So, what do you think about that being assessed? Do you think that's good or bad?
No, it's good. I mean, they do. They take so much time. I mean, over the ball. Who were some other guys in years past? Sergio. He used to grope that club like 20 times before. And it was not good.
Grip?
Yeah, grip. I mean, he would just...
I don't know if grip's the right word when you're talking about gripping a golf club, but we'll roll with it.
He was milking it.
Okay,
he was milking
it's getting better. Famously at the U.S. Open up at Bethpage Black, he re-gripped like 24 times, and he was getting booed by the New York fans.
And I guarantee you, Phil Shomo would eat that alive.
Now, well, you'll have to ask him next time.
Yeah, because
how did you feel about Sergio groping the golf club numerous times in the? I don't know what year that was. I was still in high school at that point. That was probably in the early 2000s at the U.S. Open at Bethpage Black.
Yeah, but it was the worst at Sawgrass that year.
Oh,
they really he
had an issue too. I mean, obviously it was in his head, that's for sure. But is it Rory Sabatini? Was he or Corey Pavin?
Yep.
Rory, those two guys, I think, were notoriously slow.
They were.
In the game of golf and took a lot of heat, but they would just never be penalized.
Right.
And if you don't hold somebody accountable for that, they're just going to keep doing it.
Yeah.
And the thing is with slow play, it's not affecting the golfer, so to speak, but it's affecting everybody else that's waiting on them.
And it makes you wonder if that's what they're ultimately trying to do, is to kind of freeze the field, like call timeout to the field.
I guess.
I mean,
I don't know.
I don't know, but
I don't know about you, but I can't stand over the ball for very long. I got to be ready to pull the trigger. The more I think, the worse it gets. That's for sure.
I don't even take practice swings.
Yeah, why waste?
Yeah.
Why waste? Just hit it.
I mean, I try to do 3 steps into the ball, behind the ball, 3 steps, maybe 3 waggles, and then 1,
How
2,
many
3
gropes?
go. Yeah, no milking.
No milking?
No milking.
You just keep it. You're gripping the club. You're ready to rock.
Yep.
I like it. I like a couple waggles. How big's your waggle?
Small.
Small waggle.
Small. Yeah.
Waggle.
I'm not like a JT. Like bring it all the way to the hip.
Kind of rehearse the.
Yeah. Just kind of loosen it up, if you will.
What if they changed it in golf, where like if you took a rehearsed more than like a quarter of the way back, it was like a balk. That could speed up play.
That could.
There's not a ton of guys that do that, but Brian Harmon's also famous for taking that club back pretty far in his practice swings, which is legal to do. Well, but once you start, once you get to the top in transition, then, that's a swing.
But, Nicklaus and all those guys back in the day, they had happy feet when they were trying to set up to a ball. They waggled. And see, now in today's world, you see the guys kind of stand a little more like a statue, and they don't really move around a lot. And that's...
Why do you think that is?
Oh, man. Probably back to science and TrackMan and being scientific rather than like what we talked about.
Yeah, because the game was you didn't have all that stuff back then, especially before computers were invented.
Yeah.
So that's an interesting thought there for sure. I mean, it was much more just feel and trusting your swing without all this technology that gets in the way. And it'd be interesting to do a in-depth study on we'll call it the 70s of golf versus the 2020s of golf, and how different everything is. Obviously, technology and the equipment has made a huge difference, but that's, you could kind of take that out of it and look more at the science and the analytics of golf. That's, and data and analytics and stats and trends that's taken over the world in all sports. It seems like we just get obsessed with data, and analytics now affect coaches' decisions on the field in football. And, it seems like a scapegoat to a certain degree. Well, the analytics said I should.
Right.
Well, no, you did. So hold yourself accountable.
Exactly.
I don't know. Interesting stuff. But, tough for that girl for sure to miss the cut to go play at, Augusta on Saturday. But, it's a rule.
Yeah.
And if you break a rule, you got to be held accountable.
That's
because
right.
then what's the point of the rule?
That's right. Yeah. She won't do it next year if she's not a senior.
It was as long as she stays an amateur.
Or an amateur. Okay. Yeah.
Because it's the Augusta National Women's Amateur.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of, people that never turn pro and still have illustrious amateur golf careers.
Right.
And it's just turning pro obviously allows you to make money. And I think most of these girls probably will.
They will.
Yeah. Some local scores to report from yesterday. You had on the varsity baseball side, Mosley lost to North Florida Christian, who is a very, very good baseball program. Holmes County beat North Bay Haven Academy 9-6. Rutherford beat Gaston County 22-5. And then on the softball Bay County Championship, North Bay Haven got the edge over Arnold 6-2 to win the Bay County Championship. They're now 16-2. Arnold is now 15-2. And then we'll talk about some of the big baseball games coming up tonight as well. Did you see about that earthquake in New Jersey?
I know. What's going on? Have you heard from a lot of your folks?
Yeah, I texted a few people, and they said everything's pretty good. I mean, a 4.8 strong, but it's not damaging strong to it. I mean, I'm sure there was some things that fell, but that's not going to knock down buildings and stuff like that. And kind of where it happened, it's very close to where I grew up. It's not big city. It's more suburban and that kind of stuff. So
and the headlines I'm seeing is New York City, but it's
easy.
not.
It's an easy.
Right?
No, I mean it's not far from New York City.
Right.
We were about, as the crow flies, 20 miles, but it would take you 45 minutes, half an hour to get into the city.
Yeah.
Kind of like driving down Back Beach Road.
Right.
My aunt's from the Bronx, or lives in the Bronx, and they got shook pretty good.
Nice.
Yeah.
Well, not nice, but
yeah.
The fault lines are currently active if you've been paying attention to it, and they seem to come in bunches when it comes to those fault lines. Don't know what it means.
Now, when you growing up there, did y'all ever have an earthquake?
Not that I can recall.
Man,
now I did live in the Bay Area of California until the age of about 5.5. Then we moved to New Jersey, so I was there in 1989 when the big earthquake happened there, and the Bay Bridge broke and all that stuff. I do remember that one a little bit, just like pictures of fish tanks and hearing stuff fall and all that, but never in New Jersey. And ironically, where I lived in South Carolina one year, we had a 4.1 just down the road.
Yeah.
That was wild. But I think they have them around here every once in a while, too.
Boston Tim said they felt it in West Springfield, Massachusetts, and that's where he's from. So.
That's pretty far away from, I mean, not as far as stuff down here. I mean, it's all pretty close up there. But, yeah, the thing is, this earthquake only happened a mile under the ground, where a lot of these other earthquakes happen a lot deeper.
Deeper, yeah.
But there is fault lines that run kind of all the way down that eastern seaboard, kind of a little bit like the Appalachian Mountains. So it's interesting.
Man.
That's for sure.
Hopefully everybody's okay.
Yeah, definitely. And obviously that huge Taiwan earthquake happened earlier this week, and it was funny because, not funny, I hate to say funny, but what were we talking about, tsunamis and tidal waves and all that stuff? I think it was the day before, and then that happened. So maybe we're like the predictors here on the Inside Drive.
Yeah.
Everybody's going to get $1 million.
You were saying something yesterday about the solar eclipse
happening on Monday.
Happening Monday.
Partial here, though.
Partial.
But good point, Jay. Yes, coming up, I want to say it was what? I texted to you guys.
It was 2045.
Yes, it is on, hold on, I got it right here. I texted you guys about it, didn't I?
Yeah. It was 20.
Oh, yeah, here it is. 8/12/2045 will have but the next time a total solar eclipse goes over, be right over our area.
Man.
So, there you go. If you've never, I don't think we've ever. Have we had a recent total?
I just don't remember these as a kid. I mean, I don't remember being a big deal.
You have to be in the right place at the right time.
Yeah.
That's for sure. I mean, if it's not cloudy, you'll be able to see it partially here, but I know a lot of people are heading west to kind of catch that little arc.
Right.
The arc's going to be very different when it comes through in 2045. It's kind of be going kind of across the country. More, this one's kind of going like up through it.
Okay. All right.
Lots of different orbits there.
I put it on my Outlook calendar.
Did you put it on there?
Yep.
Good.
2045.
How long's your reminder? 10 years?
Yeah, right.
That's what I would do. And then you could just do it again.
Yeah.
10 years.
Yeah.
20. I'll be 59 years old.
Yes, sir.
I bet you'll be Social Security age.
I will. 65.
If the Social Security age is still that age.
Come on.
The route we're going, there's not going to be any Social Security.
Boston Tim said, how about y'all say cancer is going to be cured soon? Not everyone deserves to be rich, but everyone deserves a second chance from cancer.
100%. And I could go down a rabbit hole on that one, but I am not going to, because I firmly believe that that could be done. It's just not being done.
Yeah.
11:19. You got one more thing before we take a break? You playing us another song on the way in?
Yeah.
All right, we're going to dive into some Final Four action when we get back from the break, as you got two of what some people will say are two of the biggest women's college basketball games ever coming up tonight, and they're right here on ESPN Northwest Florida. You're listening to The Inside Drive. We'll be right back with Jay Henley.
104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida, your exclusive home for March Madness.
And it goes for the win!
We'll bring you every game live.
It's the three to tie it!
It's the NCAA Men's Basketball Tournament, college basketball's premier event, and it's all right here.
And the dream is alive!
104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
The dream! Yes!
This is Joanna with ESPN Northwest Florida with your Friday's weather. This afternoon and evening there will be a moderate breeze out of the west, sunshine and 72. Clear skies tonight, colder at 52 and a wind at 6 miles per hour coming out of the north. Tomorrow, sunny and a light breeze right around 7 miles per hour with a high of 68. About the same at 71 Sunday, and we'll have some sun. This forecast is brought to you by Ellis Agency Insurance. Thank you for keeping that dial on ESPN Northwest Florida. Rely on it.
At Creative Gems, we believe every piece of jewelry tells a story of love, legacy, and the art of fine craftsmanship. Family owned with every detail crafted on site in Panama City, Florida, we invite you to experience more than just shopping. It's a journey to remember. Come visit us online at creativegemsinc.com or in our showroom on Jenks Avenue. Open Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Creative Gems.
Los Rancheros has been doing it right for 20 years. Los Rancheros brings a top-shelf dining experience to you with the opening of their beautiful new building. Watch all college and pro games on Los Rancheros' 14 large-screen TVs with great drink specials daily from 2 to 5 and during all the games. Los Rancheros, the place for live sports and great food on 23rd Street between Jenks and Harrison.
The only place to get sports betting coverage on the radio. Is this legal? Broadcasting from the Bill Kramer Chevrolet Buick GMC and Kramer Marine Outdoor Studios. It's the Inside Drive with Ryan Mulvey on ESPN Northwest Florida.
Welcome back. You're listening to The Inside Drive live here on ESPN Northwest Florida. Jay Henley bringing us back in with some tunes on that beautiful Taylor guitar.
Zombie.
Zombie.
I mean, it's fitting with solar eclipse coming, right?
Sure. I don't know the last time I saw the zombies come out during the solar eclipse, but if that's what's going to happen this time, I wouldn't be surprised with everything going on. Keep your head on a swivel. Monday.
Keep your head on a swivel.
Maybe that's why all the kids have to stay in school and can't go outside. It's not the eclipse, it's the zombies.
We figured it out.
That makes perfect sense. Yep. That makes perfect sense.
The Walking Dead.
Are you going to get a cranberry necklace?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
You should.
They were so good back in, I mean, that lady's voice, or is it man's voice, lady's voice? I don't know.
I think it's a lady.
Is it a lady?
Yeah.
Okay. Zombie, hey.
That sounds just like it. Now I know why you sang the first one and didn't sing the second one. Was the instrumental intro there? That's for sure. Did you come up with a poll question yet? You forgot to give me one in that first one.
No, I don't know. I mean, what are you thinking? I mean, do we want to keep with the bathroom deal?
You could do whatever your heart desires, Jay Henley.
Well, I mean, as guys, right? Like, I think it's so weird if I'm walking in and there's like 5 urinals, and then you got that one guy that's like using the stall,
Yeah.
you know, and it's like there's urinals right here. So, do you have are you that person that like skips
Are you
all
the guy that there's 6 urinals and there's one person using it and you go stand next to him?
Yes.
You're that guy?
No, I'm
You
not.
just said yes.
No, I'm
going
going
to clip that out and not get that second part that you had there.
Right. I'm going to the urinal.
You're leaving some space.
Yeah, it's your first option every time. You never see the urinal on the back end of a bathroom, do you? I mean, like it's
typically not.
It's typically your first option as you walk into a men's room. So
Yeah, more number 1s than number 2s typically.
Right.
More
But
often.
are you a stall guy?
No.
Okay, urinals all the way.
Absolutely. Now, obviously, for other things, yeah, but that's a different story.
Yeah.
What about the old trough? You see that at some ballparks every now and then.
Oh, yeah.
I had to explain that to Beth when she's like, "There's a trough." I was like, "Yeah, a lot of places still have that."
Yeah.
It's a whole other ball game there. No pun intended.
Got my shirt tucked underneath my chin,
Drawers all the way to the ground.
Yeah, that's it. Oh man. So what's out of all that? What's the poll question?
Do you use a urinal or do you use a stall?
So if you, number 1, are you going for the urinal or are you going for the stall? But there's so many other caveats that could come with that. Like how many people are using urinals? How many are available? So
they're all available.
You're more saying, you're going right for the stall or the urinal when it's completely empty?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, that's yeah.
Okay.
I mean,
bathroom talk with Jay Henley.
Jay's in there singing some Benny King. Stand by me.
Come on over. The water's fine. Man.
the old trough, though. I hadn't
thought about that in a while, had you?
I know.
They had one at Daytona. I was like, yeah, I kind of missed this.
Yeah. It's like in high school or growing up. I mean, now you don't see them hardly anymore, but the ones that go all the way down to the floor, you remember those? When's the last time you seen one of those?
It's been a while.
It's been a while. And I mean, I guess that's, covering all age brackets is what that is.
Yeah, I could see that. I never thought of that, but it just looks like a shower is what it looks like. The bottom of a shower, right? Is that what you're talking about?
I'm talking about in a long. Yeah, I guess it could look like the bottom of a shower, but it's just it's like a stretched out urinal where it goes all the way down to the floor.
Okay, yeah.
So I don't really understand the shower reference, but I'll let you roll.
I was thinking of a trough.
No trough. No trough.
It's just a long urinal.
You know what I'm talking about?
A tall urinal. Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, not technically a tall urinal, but
it's stretched
the
out.
area, the landing, the landing spot is all the way down there at the ground.
I just feel like with those, you're going to have to do more work around them when you're cleaning the restroom.
Now, are you more of a Kohler kind of guy, or is there another option outside of Kohler? Seems
I
like
think
Kohler.
there's several.
Is there?
Yeah. I don't know if a lot of people are spending the high dollar money on the Kohler urinals in public restrooms, but maybe they are. I don't know.
See, that was my problem selling air conditioners.
American Standard.
Yeah, well, see, that was my American Standard. That's another one. That was my problem selling air conditioners. Is like you can't sell. Like, who goes around and is like, man, check out my XYZ unit. It's like you can't sell. You can't sell that. Anyways,
Why can't you sell it?
well, I mean, it's not like air conditioners are. Nobody talks about air conditioners as long
You're
as
talking about it right now.
Well, yeah, but as long as they're working, that's the only thing that really matters.
Working on an air conditioning is very important.
Yeah. But anyways,
No, I digress.
do you?
That was a good poll question.
Yeah. We'll see. We'll see.
I'm going to guess that we're going to have a lot of they go to the urinal.
I think there's some other
We
ones
have
out
officially
there.
spent 5 minutes talking about pods.
Jay, when he sees the New York urinal.
It's been
Oh, man. Is that where you're
All right,
gonna
I got to work on the poll question. What is it again?
Bathroom's empty.
Yeah, bathrooms.
You going to a urinal or you going in the stall?
Oh, that's
For
easy.
number 1.
Yeah, for number one.
Yeah, that's all right.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's what we've dialed this back down to because we went down a little bit of a rabbit hole. All right, Jay.
Yeah.
Let's reel this thing back
All right,
in. We've
all
got
right.
some huge Final Four games tonight on the women's side of the bracket. In all the teams left. You got 2 UConns, 2 NC States, Caitlin Clark, South Carolina, DJ Burns, if you are a basketball fan, the next 2 days are going to be absolute heaven for you, as we've got some huge matchups coming up. And one of the things, too, I did some research earlier. UConn is the only team in NCAA basketball history to have the men's and women's team win in the same year.
Wow.
Does that happen again this year?
We'll see.
No one is talking about the South Carolina Gamecocks, and they are a heavy favorite to win the tournament again with 4 teams remaining.
Is that the men's side or the women's side?
Women's. Yes. They haven't lost a game in a long time since they lost the Final Four game last year. It's the last time they lost a game.
Jeez.
Pretty impressive.
It is.
Pretty impressive. Yeah. But yes, you got obviously Caitlin Clark versus Paige Buchers. And one of the things I was reading about Gino Auriemma is when he was, he recruited Paige at a very, very young age. And he had the opportunity to recruit Caitlin Clark, but he stuck loyal to Paige because they basically play the same position. So he had the opportunity to, but he chose not to because he was getting asked that quite a bit by the media and some press conferences. So it's going to be a huge matchup. You got some strength against strength. We'll pick them later, so you don't have to pick them now. And then, of course, you got South Carolina versus NC State. They're 36-0, and it's just they're not being talked about.
Right.
So I think that's a dangerous thing for a really, really good South Carolina team that they're not really being talked about. And
is it because of Caitlin so much in the
absolutely,
news? Yeah.
Absolutely, yeah. I mean, she's obviously dominated the headlines on this side of things. But you also got on the men's side. What's cool? We'll have both of those games airing on ESPN Northwest Florida coming up tonight at 6 p.m. right after the afternoon underdogs. That game gets kicked off, and then following that game, you'll have the second one matchup there. I believe the NC State. Which game is first? It's the NC State South Carolina is the 6 p.m. tip-off, and that'll be followed by UConn and Iowa in prime time.
Yes.
You gonna watch the whole thing?
I will try. Yeah. I don't know.
You gonna put a urinal in your place?
Right.
I think James has got a urinal at his house.
Does he?
Yeah.
It's epic.
Oh, huh. That's cool.
I put it in a bidet before I put it in a urinal.
Right. Makes sense. I mean, I've never been to a house that somebody's had a urinal.
Neither have I.
Cool. Yeah.
Neither have I.
Outdoor urinals.
Yeah.
Yeah.
AKA a tree.
Yep.
The old outhouse. If you ever talk to like my grandparents and stuff, man, those are great stories.
They're still around.
Yeah. It's like 28
They're
degrees.
just plastic now.
Yeah. Right. Bedpans.
No. Porta potties.
Sometimes we're not on the same page. That is for sure. But yeah, getting back to the Final Four here, and then of course on Saturday, both of those games will be right here on ESPN Northwest Florida as well. That'll start with Purdue and NC State at 5 p.m., followed by Alabama and UConn. Give me your thoughts. There's some big drastic differences in. I don't want you to pick. I just want your thoughts. There's some drastic differences in the spreads here, but do the spreads really matter at this point? What do you think? Here, I'll give you the women's side first. Let me go real quick. NC State is an 11.5-point underdog to South Carolina, like I said, who has not lost a game since the Final Four last year. And then Iowa is only a 2.5-point favorite over UConn.
Yeah, no, these are big-time games with big-time implications, I guess, obviously.
Yeah, it's for the national championship.
Yeah, and I think it comes down to a coach's decision on it's not necessarily your best player at the time. It's who's performing right now and who's the right player.
Okay.
I mean, that's just my thought. I mean,
all right,
and
so
it's a coach's decision.
You're in the locker room before both of these games on the women's side. What are you telling your team? Because this is a preparation question for you for your middle school basketball practice tonight. So, see, I'm trying to help you out, too.
You got to take, well, it's like Phil Shomo, right? You got to take all this out of the equation, and you got to be like, hey, look, this is what got us here is the fundamentals, whatever got you there. I mean, that's the culture that you build.
Yeah. And
I don't know if that's... you just got to go back to culture and what you started out and figure out why you're there. Is it, and talk about team, communicate through the basketball. Like, you got to pass it around. If you pass it around enough, you're going to be able to find an open person.
Typically, yeah.
Yeah. So
plus the defense is really good.
True.
But that was very astute of you, Jay. David, what do you think? Obviously, I don't want picks yet because we're going to do picks later on, but, a close matchup there between UConn and NC State, but South Carolina has a huge Vegas advantage anyway in their game against NC State.
I would say for South Carolina, it's don't get away from what's gotten you to this point. Don't try to change anything up here in the championship
don't let the moment.
game.
It's just another game.
Stay consistent. For North Carolina State, you play the underdog role.
Yeah.
And, you got to play with a chip on your shoulder. You've gotten to this point, so you got to leave everything out there on the floor. And then you end up with
Yeah.
For Iowa, are we talking just about...
Just the ladies, but we'll pivot to the men's.
Well, no, that's what I was saying. Are we talking about both games here?
Yeah.
Or are we just...
Yeah.
Okay, so
Yeah.
For Iowa, man, how can Caitlin Clark continue to get her teammates involved?
Yeah.
Because this, you had the game against USC, or no, for Iowa it was LSU. So, and I was under the impression or kind of figured that LSU played better as a team than what Iowa does, and it kind of all goes through Caitlin Clark, but she got Katie Martin and some of the other gals involved, and so they're going to need that again tonight because you're going up against a team in UConn, well-coached. Not only do they have a good team, but they also have a superstar of their own in Paige Bucher. So hopefully we get to see a lot of one-on-one tonight between Paige and Caitlin Clark and see how that all goes down because Paige Bucher doesn't have the name necessarily that Caitlin Clark does. A lot of that due to injury, but she's good as well. She's really good.
Oh, she's fantastic. And that's one of the things, that's, in my opinion, the huge difference between the LSU-Iowa game and the UConn-Iowa game is I'm assuming Paige is going to be on Caitlin Clark. I don't know that for certain, but I would assume that versus, I forget the girl's name from LSU. It was like a two-part last name.
Haley Van Lint.
Van Lint. And she just entered the transfer portal.
Yeah, second year in a row.
She obviously struggled guarding Caitlin Clark, but who doesn't? But you're putting one of the best college basketball players on Caitlin Clark. Can she continue her dominancy in making all these crazy shots with arguably one of the toughest players she'll go up against on an individual matchup basis? So that matchup between Caitlin Clark and Paige Bucher is going to be absolutely fantastic to watch. And I think whoever wins that battle, the team's going to come out on top.
Well, and what's your thoughts on, maybe not even starting Caitlin, like bringing her in the second quarter?
My thoughts are that's the worst thing you could
do you
possibly...
think so?
Yes, 100%. She's the best player in college basketball, and you're going to put her on the bench?
Yeah.
Hey, you're coaching basketball here tonight, aren't you? I wouldn't lead with that. I wouldn't put your best players on the bench to start the game.
And the parents who are listening to Jay right now just pulled his whole squad.
Yeah, hopefully they weren't.
Reverse psychology. Everybody's, anticipation of Caitlin bench her the first quarter. See,
the first quarter?
Yeah.
I was thinking maybe 30 seconds.
30 seconds.
Man, yeah, no, that's probably the whatever strategy that is, do the polar opposite. I can't wait to clip out that one. That's going to be brilliant. Right, it's 11:36. All right, I'm going to write that down. 11:36. So Jay Henley says the key to winning for Iowa is to bench Caitlin Clark.
For a little bit.
For a little bit.
Yeah.
Not the whole game. That would be out of control.
Yeah.
Yeah. Considering Caitlin Clark played the entire 40 minutes in the last game, I don't think you're going to see her come off the court unless she fouls out. But she typically doesn't get into foul trouble.
You've been playing way too good lately. We just can't have none of that.
Hey, we got to make sure other people get a chance.
Exactly. Sharon.
That's not what I'm condoning.
Yeah.
Oh,
That's
man.
not what I'm condoning. I just, reverse psychology.
On who?
On the other team.
Yeah.
Imagine being the coach, right? This is an interesting thing. Hey, Caitlin, come here. We need to talk before the game. You're not going to start, and I'm not really sure when we're going to put you in yet. What do you think her reaction is?
Well, if she's a true leader, she'll accept it. And
She'll lead herself to the bench.
Yeah, I don't know
absolutely.
about that, but I appreciate
just come in just firing like in the second quarter or whenever.
Yeah, when you're down by 20. Yeah, that'd be good. That'd be good. Never a dull moment with you, Jay. Never a dull moment. But
you would definitely increase viewership at that point because Twitter would be going wild with Caitlin Clark on the bench to start the first quarter. Oh, man.
Yeah. That'd probably not be so good for the viewership.
True.
There'd be some angry people. That coach would get absolutely raked through the coals. That is for sure. All right, over there on that U.S. or South Carolina side, what do you think? Do you think they just bulldoze them? Like David said, they got to stick to what got them there. And South Carolina's used to being there. One thing too, going back to the Iowa game, and this is literally the one thing that Caitlin Clark does not have on her resume, and that's winning a national championship. And do you think they put that extra pressure because they're so close. They're one game away from going to the national championship. They lost in the Final Four last year to LSU, and now they have an opportunity again. Do you think that gets in the way, or do you think that helps?
Oh, fire! That brings some fire. And
so helps.
It helps. Yeah, it helps.
Yeah.
They'll roll over. Which, I mean, you said South Carolina is undefeated this season?
Oh, I wasn't talking about, I said South Carolina, but then I pivoted back to Caitlin Clark. The one thing she does not have is a ring from winning a national championship. And they're on the cusp of it, having her, an unbelievable season, broke all these records, but those are all individual records.
Yeah.
A national championship for Iowa in basketball would mean so much for the Hawkeye Nation, that's for sure. And that's literally on her shoulders, so to speak. Yeah. David, what do you think? Do you think it helps or hurts their opportunity tonight? That they're playing for Caitlin Clark to potentially win a national championship.
I mean, I think that it helps. I think that it's a team thing, of course.
Yeah.
But she really wants that. The problem is
does it add
obviously
extra
that's your
pressure?
Goal, but it does add extra pressure, and that's the one thing that you don't necessarily want, because you want to be playing loose. Like Shomo would tell you, like that. That's what we're doing this for, but that can't be at the forefront of our mind, because at the forefront of our mind has to be right here, because we're not even in the championship game right now. We're playing for an opportunity to be in the national championship, so it's still got to be steady as she goes right now. And if not, I mean, if you make that too big of a deal, you start missing some shots, then all of a sudden you're getting frustrated, then all of a sudden you're missing more shots, and then you find yourself where Jay wants to put you at to start the game, the bench.
Yeah, if we get some bench action of Caitlin Clark, we got an issue there, that's for sure. But yeah, I mean, and I think it's a little different this year because she's not coming back to Iowa next year.
Yeah.
Whereas last year, she was coming back. She knew she was going to get another opportunity, and this year, it's it. You either win it or you don't.
Is that more pressure?
I would think more pressure for sure. But she seems to rise the more the pressure gets, but we'll see how the rest of the team responds tonight.
There's an old country music song, putting the gold band on the right left finger this time, and I think Iowa does do it with Caitlin Clark.
Okay. Yeah. I like it. On that note, we're going to go ahead and go to break, and excited to hear what song you have to bring us back in. You're listening to The Inside Drive live here on ESPN Northwest Florida. We'll be right back.
ESPN Northwest Florida is taking you on the ultimate road trip to see the Orlando Magic. Is this Connie Sisk?
Yes.
Congratulations, Connie. You won the Holland Hearts ESPN Northwest Florida Magic Express.
Oh, okay, cool.
Are you ready for a trip of a lifetime?
Yeah, well, at least my husband is anyway. I entered it for him.
You and your husband will watch the game from a presidential suite.
Oh, okay, cool.
Congratulations from ESPN Northwest Florida. Are you hungry for authentic Mexican cuisine? Then come to El Rodeo Tequila Bar and Grill, where we serve up the freshest, most flavorful dishes on the beach. El Rodeo Tequila Bar and Grill, a great location, comfortable atmosphere, and happy hour from 3 to 7. Buy one, get one free, regular margaritas and 12-ounce house drafts. And you're going to love their lunch specials Monday through Friday from 11 to 3. Plus live music Wednesdays and Saturdays starting at 5:30. El Rodeo Tequila Bar and Grill, Thomas Drive across from the Navy base.
Spring has sprung. Vacations are next. At That Boot Store, you can dress the whole family from the youngest to the oldest with high-quality clothing at fantastic prices and look great wherever you travel. No time for vacations? Not to worry. That Boot Store offers high-quality Carhartt work clothes at affordable prices, too. Shop That Boot Store, celebrating 60 years in business. Open Tuesday through Thursday, 9 till 5, and Friday and Saturday, 9 until 5:30. Next to Billboard Kia 15th Street, Panama City. That Boot Store, where God is good all the time.
Signworks, a business serving businesses since 1985. Everything from signs and banners, vehicles and boats, magnetic and real estate signs, contractor signs, and much more. Signworks can do large format, full color printing too. Signworks, a real professional in the business world. Call Signworks at 785-8899. Signworks, 850-785-8899.
You hear it first. Sports talk right now. Back to the Inside Drive with Ryan Mulvey.
I know it seems a bit overwhelming at first.
Broadcasting from the Bill Kramer Chevrolet Buick GMC and Kramer Marine Outdoor Studios.
Something makes me think you'll get used to it.
On ESPN Northwest Florida.
Heading down south to the land of the pine, thumbing my way out of North Carolina. Bringing us in with some Wagon Wheel here in the third segment of the day here, Jay. You know where that music video was shot?
Where was it, Ryan?
Coastal Carolina University. Myrtle Beach, obviously, Darius Rucker's a big fan of South Carolina. Went to the Gamecocks. He has the Monday after the Masters, which will be coming up here in a couple weeks, which is pretty exciting.
Big-time golfer, too.
Big-time golfer. Obviously, during Masters Week, when I was up there, Hootie and the Blowfish was still playing, and then he went to just him when they kind of separated a little bit. But the last time we went to the Rock for Doe concert, it was what it was called. It was always there at the first tee of Augusta. They played it on their little. It kind of had a mini golf course. They had a driving range and a couple holes, and we always did a lot with the first tee of North Augusta up there when I was at Mount Vintage. So we got an opportunity to always go to the event, and the director at the time, he's no longer there. He's been gone for a little while. Always would give us a table, but just a great concert and always a good time. So Wagon Wheel, wonderful song. But yes, shot at Coastal Carolina.
Darius seems like a guy that you would just want to hang out with.
Absolutely.
I mean,
absolutely. He's a great ambassador for the game of golf, and he does a lot for the University of South Carolina as well, being he graduated there from South Carolina, which is pretty cool. So didn't know you're going to be playing some Darius today, but that was exciting.
Hey, we just roll with it, Ryan.
That's it. That's it.
Yep.
Hey, I wanted to obviously, we talked a lot about the women's Final Four coming up, but the men's Final Four as well. And I kind of, I think I saw Coach Hale share this actually. And then, with Alabama's opportunity that they have now being in the Final Four for the first time in history, obviously they've got a huge matchup tonight against a very, very, very good UConn team who is the overwhelming favorite right now to win the men's side of the college basketball national championship. This article is from 80skids.com, and it's the greatest sporting moment for every U.S. state ranked. Okay. So I was going to start with Alabama, and then maybe you can throw out some other states, and we'll talk about them. And again, some of them have a few, some of them just have one. So I'll get your thoughts and opinion on that as well. But we'll start with Alabama, and the one they have listed is the Alabama-Auburn 2013 Iron Bowl victory. You remember what happened in that game?
Oh, was that the pick six?
Not a pick six.
Kick six.
But a kick six, yes. It was the kick six. Obviously, Davis returned that 109 yards after Alabama tried to kick a very, very long game-winning field goal there and actually petitioned for an extra second to be added on the clock, which proved to be costly. But they're saying that is the number one moment there in Alabama sports history, with number two being Jesse Owens winning gold at the 1936 Munich Olympics. I know in Alabama, I don't know exactly where it is, but they have a great museum for Jesse Owens as he went over there and won 4 gold medals. And that was during the, World War I era, and you had the Nazi Olympics because it was in Germany. But he went over there and won 4 gold medals. And also another Olympian, Carl Lewis, he won the 100-meter final back in the 1988 Olympics. And that was a wonderful moment there for Alabama as well, if you remember that one. A lot of people do, certainly. And I think we've talked about the 1988 Olympics before, right? Because they were up there in Canada.
Yeah.
Was that was Montreal?
Oh,
you don't have to look it up. It was either Vancouver was winner, Calgary was winner. I think Montreal was the Summer Olympics, if I'm not mistaken.
I just knew Carl Lewis was a fast individual.
Yes, very, very fast, no doubt. What do you think on? Give me another state.
Let's go North. Have we done North Carolina?
We've literally just done Alabama.
Oh, okay, North Carolina.
North Carolina. Whew, making me go all the way down to the ends. All right, I figured you were going to go with Georgia next, but because that is your home state of Griffin, Georgia. All right, I'm almost there. What do you? I don't even know what the number one moment would be. I'm almost there.
If you're at Georgia, we're I'm cool.
No. We'll go back to Georgia. Dave, we're doing. Got an article. I saw Coach James Hale share this, and because of Alabama being in the Final Four, this is the greatest sporting moments for each state ranked. So we started with Alabama. It was the kick six, and then it was Jesse Owens and Carl Lewis. Those were the 3 for the people, from that happened in the state or people from the state.
Yeah, that's despicable, but okay. The first one, the kick six.
Yeah, I knew you'd be upset about that.
I like 4th and 31 to take that over. Right?
Well, this article might have been before that. I don't know.
For Bama fans, it's 4th and 31. For Auburn fans, it's the kick six. I think that the kick six is definitely more impressive. I don't know. What is more impressive?
I would say the kick six.
Kick six, yeah.
That's pretty impressive.
I mean, both of them were the probability of that happening was so slim. But man,
Yeah.
They each changed the direction of the college football national championship, that's for sure.
Yeah.
Nick Saban in his 1 second, man.
And Florida State probably hates that too, because obviously if Alabama lost that game, I think Florida State's probably in at that point.
Yep.
Just speculation.
Yeah.
All right, I'm almost to North Carolina. Jay picked North Carolina second. I really have no idea why, but we're going to go with that. Now I've had to scroll through.
You know I don't know my alphabets, Ryan.
That's true. North Carolina. Let's see. They got one. NC State University shocks Houston
1983.
in the 1983 NCAA final. So Jay, that was great that you picked North Carolina because guess who's in the Final Four for both?
Wolfpack in Houston, the Cougars.
No, the Cougars are not.
Oh.
I meant the men's and the women's side.
I got
Just
you.
NC State.
I got you.
You're on fire today.
Yeah.
Not that you normally are.
No,
but
no.
April 4th, 1983, the pit in Albuquerque, New Mexico, North Carolina State orchestrated one of the most thrilling upsets in men's basketball history. Led by coach Jim Valvano and fueled by forward Lorenzo Charles, the Wolfpack pulled off a shocking victory over Houston in the 1983 NCAA championship game. Can they do it again?
We'll see.
We'll find out.
Yes, sir.
They will.
Stay tuned.
You think?
Yes. I concur.
You concur. I like it.
Whatever you say, boss.
Yeah. Oh, yes.
All right, give me another state.
What you think, David Hayes?
Let's go with how about Arizona?
Oh man, all the way back to the top.
Yeah, got to keep that that trigger finger busy.
Well, and I don't even see a little thing where I can pull it up real fast, but all right, I'm getting there.
Next, we're going to Wyoming, so get ready.
Maybe I should use the page up button. Does that work? Oh, it does work.
There we go.
Ooh, and I skipped. I rushed
I'm
past
curious
Arizona.
about Alaska. Man.
All right, David Hayes might know this. What do you think? And I said David Hayes might know this, leading to your expertise in one particular sport.
Oh, so it would be the Arizona Diamondbacks 2001?
Bingo. Ding, 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 ding. God, he's so good at this trivia stuff. On November 4th, 2001, Phoenix Banks One Ballpark, the Arizona Diamondbacks made baseball history in a tense Game 7 of the World Series. Pitcher Randy Johnson and left fielder Luis Gonzalez emerged as key figures in what many consider to be the greatest World Series of all time. The Diamondbacks secured a 3-2 victory over the New York Yankees, making their place as the World Series champions.
Man, that hit by Luis Gonzalez, just a little lazy fly ball, but it falls. Man, that was a wonderful World Series. I was only 10 years old at the time, but and the Arizona Diamondbacks wearing these stupid jerseys. Like, they need to go back to not that the new ones don't work, but those other ones just come on.
Talking about pinstripes?
Well, the pinstripes, yes, but it was just having colors that not everyone else has.
Yep.
Like when you put red into your uniform, guess what? Like most teams in Major League Baseball have some sort of red in their uniform, but you got teal and purple. No one else is doing that.
Yeah.
It's like the Padres City Connect.
Yeah.
Not a huge fan of the color scheme, but it fits San Diego, and it's different. So if you want to look like a pistachio, go ahead and do it.
Yeah. Hey, did you see the pictures of the Yankees uniforms that had all the sweat on them, which is just fueling the fire? Because that was the out that Fanatics and the MLB said. It's like, wait till it's warm. These things are great for moisture wicking. It's April, and you've got sweat in those jerseys.
Dude, they're terrible. Every time that I'm looking at the jersey, I'm like, I can barely tell what the name on the back of that jersey is right now. Especially when it's the picture, the view of the pitcher on the mound. It's like, you get you a 2023 and a 2024 side by side. The jerseys are garbage.
Yep.
Does the Yankees have they don't have names on the back of their jerseys, do they? They never have. Or
I don't think that they ever have.
Yeah. Does it make you uncomfortable? Or you like it?
It's different.
It's putting the team ahead of the individual.
Well, no, that's just so they can save money for their roster.
The stitching.
Are you being for real?
No.
Oh, okay. All right.
Hey, I sold him into it because he was like, he's laughing like, no way. And then I'm like, nah, for real, Jay.
Gullibility is, if that's a word, is one of your character traits there. We can convince you of anything. You can convince us of some stuff, too.
Old wise man.
I've been thinking about it. Maybe they should bench Caitlin Clark. Just throw everybody for a loop.
Wise man once told me if you watch them pennies and dimes, them dollar bills will take care of themselves.
Yeah, boy, I tell you what, my pop told me the same thing.
Mine did not. All right, give me another state.
We got a couple of comments here. How about Ohio and Indiana?
Ohio and Indiana. Let me get who's the Ohio?
Wright State Chris is
Okay.
Ohio and Indiana, and then we've got Johnny Yankee Seed with Connecticut.
Okay, I'll start with Iowa, Indiana. Indiana would be first. No, Iowa would be first.
Well, not Iowa, Ohio.
Ohio.
Oh.
Ohio. All right, I'm going to do Indiana because I got it right here. All
Right. That's going to have to be something to do
Illinois.
with the Final Four or something. Or for them, maybe it's 2020.
No, you're right. Not 2020. Final Four. University of Indiana wins the NCAA National Championship in 1976. The Spectrum was the place to be in March of 1976 if you were a University of Indiana fan. It was here that they beat the University of Michigan 86-68 in the NCAA Championship to cap off a flawless 32-0 season. The biggest moment there for Indiana, the state of Indiana. What was the next one?
Ohio. That's going to be something to do with the Cincinnati Reds. Maybe their opening day.
What about Ohio State?
Yeah.
Just because you don't like them. All right. What? They went from Montana to West Virginia and then back to Nebraska.
Take me home.
Take me home.
Country roads.
There we go.
John Denver.
I'm trying
To
to
the
find
place.
Ohio.
Yes, sir.
There's a lot of New York. No one cares.
I met a guy named Scott Houston back a while. He actually caddied for John Denver the day he died in that plane crash.
Oh, wow.
John Denver played golf the day of that plane crash. It was
You're
what a
well
crazy
connected.
story. Well, it's crazy what you just kind of walk into sometimes.
That's right. Like watching Caitlin Clark be benched.
Kind of like how I ended up with y'all here.
That's true. That's true. We feel the
I
same.
love it, man.
We feel the same. All right, Ohio. It has to do with basketball.
Ohio.
And it's
Has to do
not
with
college.
basketball.
That gives you a huge...
Oh, so it's when LeBron James
Yes.
won his first.
LeBron and the Cavs end 50-year championship drought. June 19th, 2016, Oracle Arena in Oakland, California, and the Cleveland Cavaliers overcame a 3-1 series deficit and triumphed over the Golden State Warriors. The 93-89 victory in Game 7 of the 2016 NBA Finals marked not only an extraordinary comeback, but delivered Cleveland its first professional sports championship in over 50 years. They've also got Bob Stoops gets the Sooners back to winning ways on January 3rd, 2001 at Pro Player Stadium in Miami Gardens, Florida. The University of Oklahoma secured a decisive 13-2 victory over Florida State. The win has not only added another championship to Oklahoma's storied history, but also signaled the resurgence of success for the program, solidifying its place as a powerhouse in college football. Except the 2004, they got absolutely bamboozled by USC in that national championship game, and so a lot of people said that Auburn should have been in that one. What was the other state?
Connecticut. You could do Control F and type in Connecticut.
I know.
Oh.
How about that big state of Delaware?
There you go. That's got to be Joe Flacco coming out of that thing.
That's
bro.
a good one. Delaware.
Or maybe
What have
George
they
Washington crossing the river.
Yeah, yeah. The Delaware
Swimming.
River, which was actually in New Jersey. But the Connecticut Huskies stunned the country in the NCAA tournament. History was made in March of 1999 at the Tropicana Field in Florida with the University of Connecticut's basketball team. Richard Hamilton, Khalid El-Aman, and company pulled off the biggest point spread upset in NCAA championship history, defeating Duke for its first national title. Delaware's right here too, Jay. You want to hear it? We got about
I'm
it.
curious.
This ties into what you like.
Racing.
NASCAR.
Dover.
Dale Jr. wins on NASCAR return after 9/11. Even by September 23rd, 2001, many Americans were not in the mood for any kind of big event. Dale Earnhardt Jr. changed all of that by returning to race at Dover for NASCAR. Instead of waving the checkered flag for his victory lap, he chose the American flag.
Cool stuff.
Good stuff there. Real quick, too, before we got to go to our break, University of Delaware dominate in NCAA Division I AA victory back in 2003. The University of Delaware celebrated a monumental achievement in college football as they secured a 40-0 victory over Colgate in that Division I AA, which is now the FCS. And that'll, I'm sure, change here sometime soon. But you are listening to the Inside Drive live here on ESPN Northwest Florida. When we get back, it's time for some afternoon delight.
Country music singers have always been a real close family. But lately, some of my kinfolk.
ESPN Northwest Florida presents the Final Four. The madness continues with the NC State Wolfpack versus the Boilermakers of Purdue. Then the Yukon Huskies versus the Alabama Crimson Tide.
Maybe the biggest shot of his life.
Coverage starts Saturday at 2 on your home for the NCAA College Basketball Tournament on the Gulf Coast. ESPN Northwest Florida.
This is Joanna with ESPN Northwest Florida with your Friday's weather. This afternoon and evening there will be a moderate breeze out of the west, sunshine and 72. Clear skies tonight, colder at 52 and a wind at 6 miles per hour coming out of the north. Tomorrow, sunny and a light breeze right around 7 miles per hour with a high of 68. About the same at 71 Sunday and we'll have some sun. This forecast is brought to you by Ellis Agency Insurance. Thank you for keeping that dial on ESPN Northwest Florida. Rely on it.
Do you use the expensive blue or yellow pills to charge your sex life? Are you thinking about it? What if we can promise you the same results for less than $3 a pill? If you're paying $20 a pill for the other pills, you're getting taken to the cleaners. Our pills deliver the exact same results for less than $3. You'll save more than $16 a pill for the same results. And right now, radio callers will get 44 blue or yellow pills for $120 with free discreet shipping. You can save more than $700 off pharmacy prices. Charge your sex life now and save a ton of money. Call now and get your 44 pills and save over $700 and qualify for free shipping. Stop overpaying and call right now.
Paid for by Steel Man Pills. 800-261-7365. 800-261-7365. 800-261-7365. That's 800-261-7365.
WVLQ Port St. Joe, WGSX Hammond, powered by Panama City Toyota.
ESPN Northwest Florida.
Do you suffer from political talk radio fatigue? Tune into the most fun and exciting new radio show on the Gulf Coast. It's The Inside Drive with Ryan Mulvey. From the Bill Kramer Chevrolet Buick GMC and Kramer Marine Outdoor Studios on ESPN Northwest Florida.
Sky rockets in flight. Afternoon delight.
And welcome back. You're listening to The Inside Drive live here on ESPN Northwest Florida. Your heart beating a little faster?
Don't scare me like that.
Well, you scared us. You respect some afternoon delight coming out of that beautiful Taylor guitar.
I can't do it.
Well, you're going to learn. And next Friday. Well, no, not next Friday. Because you got the golf tournament next Friday. But the Friday after next. That gives you 2 weeks to learn how to play some chords on Afternoon Delight. I think you can figure that out.
I can figure it out.
There you go. I'll do the vocals, you play the guitar, and then everybody upset with me with my terrible voice.
I'll do the ad-libs.
All right. That would be good.
You did sing in Wagon Wheel, and I think you did a great job.
Yeah.
I do too.
Well, I appreciate it. Well, Wagon Wheel is one of those ones. Me and Darius, we both have that big baritone voice and, have powerful lungs.
Yes, sir.
Not so much anymore. But you're listening to The Inside Drive live here on ESPN Northwest Florida. If you can't tell, it's Friday and we're having a lot of fun here. Jay making all sorts of crazy things, playing some intro guitars. But I want to thank our studio sponsor, and that is Bill Kramer GM and Kramer Marine and Outdoor. You can check them out on the corner of Frankfurt and 23rd Street. Lots of stuff going on there. Lots of new vehicles in stock, new boats getting repowered left and right. If you follow their Facebook page, they got a repower on a nice little sweet small Boston Whaler the other day. That thing looks absolutely spectacular. Looks like a fun boat just to kind of toot around there, and it looked pretty cool. But they can fix your boat up for you. They can sell your boat. You can buy a new boat. You can buy a used boat. Whatever it is, they can do it. That's Kramer Marine and Outdoor right there at the corner of Frankfurt and 23rd Street. You can check out all their new and used inventory on the boat side at KramerMarineandOutdoor.com. Don't forget, coming up in about 13 minutes, we'll be announcing the name of today's contestant for the race to Talladega. You're gonna, if you beat 2 seconds, which is very doable if you're prepared and you type that number in your phone, you hear your name, hit that green button, it rings right here in studio. And if you get 1 second, you will be the winner of this week. You get a pair of tickets. And if you don't, we're going to do it. We've had so much fun with this contest, Jay. We're going to do it again one more time. You need a bigger phone.
I do.
You're like,
I know.
You can also magnify it as well. Do you know that?
Say what?
You can change like the size of everything.
Yeah, I know. I got to get my eyes checked.
When's the last time you had your prescription updated on your glasses?
2020.
And it wasn't 2020 then?
It wasn't 2020. Yeah.
That was 4 years ago.
I know.
They've probably changed.
I gave the lady at grocery store yesterday $20.20 worth of groceries, and I was like, "Ooh, that was not a good year."
Bought a carton of milk.
Yeah, right.
But again, yes, if you hear your name at 12:15, you give us a call, 850-215-6290. And if your qualifying beats yesterday's qualifying time, you're going to get yourself a pair of tickets. But again, if you don't, you'll have another opportunity all next week to get that done. All right, Jay, it's the afternoon. Are you looking up an afternoon delight debrief? Is that what you're doing?
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah.
Good.
I mean, you got it. Yeah.
The interesting part is you have a computer right in front of you, and you're doing it on your phone.
I don't know why. You find better stuff on your phone than the computer. I don't know why.
Because it's a completely different part of information. Yeah, that makes sense. That makes perfect sense, along with everything else that you have said. That is for sure.
I got a good one.
All right, shoot.
All right.
I got several.
An 8-year-old boy let a black widow bite him because he wanted to become Spider-Man. Health authorities in Bolivia. Is that Colombia? Bolivia? Colombia?
Is Bolivia a country?
Or Bolivia? Oh, that's Bogota. That's Bogota.
Potato, Bogota, Bolivia. It's all the same.
Yeah, hold on. Oh,
next time, look this up on your computer.
Yeah, that makes sense now.
You're getting all the ads popping up all over it.
Yeah, what in the world?
Him's getting distracted.
No, Bolivia is a country.
Bolivia is a country.
That's what I thought.
Yeah.
Bogota, I believe, is the capital of Colombia. You want me to go while you're figuring your life out over there?
All right. Health authorities in Bolivia say an 8-year-old boy recently let a black widow bite him because he wanted to become a Spider-Man. The boy was quickly treated with anti-venom and survived the bite. These black spiders were redbacks and black widows. They do not cause anyone to become Spider-Man. On the contrary, they are putting lives at risk. Ernesto Vasquez, a health official for the city of Aurora, Bolivia, said that in a statement.
Interesting.
Is that interesting?
Do you know which male, is it the male or female that has the red hourglass on its abdomen?
I thought female.
Correct.
Okay.
Correct. You got to watch out for those black widows. But to the kids' credit, if you watch the movies, I mean, yeah, they're not real, but, it's a different country and one of those things. But I wouldn't equate it up there with having to put the warning on the dishwasher packs and the Tide packs. Don't eat the Tide packs. Right. That's the world we live in nowadays. I'll give the kid a little more credit with the Black Widow spider, but
right, you're supposed to get all of the liquid out of the package because you might choke on the plastic.
That's smart.
That's what the warning is about.
Gotcha. Do not eat the plastic.
If you want to clean your insides out, how else are you going to do it?
That's true. It is detergent. It is detergent. It makes perfect sense. That had to, he had to regret that instantly.
Yeah.
I remember the movie Arachnophobia.
Oh, with John Goodman, yeah.
Probably not instantly, though. I think with spider bites, most of the time when you get bit by a spider, you don't really notice. And I don't know.
I've never been bit by a black widow.
Yeah. And plus, I don't think it's a black widow spider. He should have done his research. Isn't it a radioactive spider?
Yeah, true.
That is true. Kid.
Yeah.
Like, read your comic books, bro.
Do better. Yeah, get them some Series 1.
Right.
You could sell them, too. Make a lot of money. I was going to ask a question related to what you said, but it completely went out. You got another one already?
Well, I do have another one.
Dang.
Yeah.
You are on fire today.
Where's DJ Khaled when you need him?
You got one?
Yeah, I do, but go first.
All right. A woman is suing a venue after she got drunk at a Marilyn Manson concert and exploded a house on her way home.
No, wait.
Read that headline one more time.
A woman is suing a venue after she got drunk at a Marilyn Manson concert and exploded a house on her way home. This happened in Canada. A Canadian woman, she's a Canadian woman. Daniela Lies, 26, reportedly crashed into a house on her way home from a Marilyn Manson concert. The crash caused a massive explosion that destroyed 4 houses, resulted in 7 injuries, and caused about $15 million in damages. Now she is suing Budweiser Gardens Arena for serving her alcohol at the concert.
Oh my gosh.
Well, I'll take the legality part in this.
Yeah.
It is the responsibility of the venue or the place that has the liquor license to serve responsibly. You can be held accountable if it's proven that person was overserved.
But the person who was overserved should not be the one suing. If anyone, it's the people who got
the
their house
homeowner
blown up or something.
Yeah, well, maybe
like
they're
that.
suing to cover the cost of the replacement of the house.
That's just absolutely ridiculous.
That is the most 2024 story I've heard.
And then how do you prove that someone overserved?
That's the thing. You have to be able to prove it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, there is cameras everywhere, and yeah.
But if it's an outdoor venue, it may be a little tougher.
Right.
But, hey.
No.
Ridiculous, man. I feel like Rob Dyrdek's in the building with us today.
Right? Right? You get it?
I don't.
Ridiculousness, the TV show hosted by Rob Dyrdek.
Yeah, I've never watched it. Yeah.
Clearly. It actually is right up your alley.
Yeah.
I probably would enjoy it.
You should. You should. All right, I got a couple. This is from WSAW.com. It's neighbors upset, and thank you, Chef Ross, for sending this one to me as well. He sent me a couple afternoon delights, and this is one he sent me yesterday. But neighbors upset with former MLB player building baseball field in backyard. A little sports related, but I mean, why would you be upset about that? Just get yourself a team and go play.
Get off my lawn.
Yeah, get off my lawn.
Is he putting lights up?
April, I don't know. Let's read the story. April 3rd, 2024. This is again from WSAW.com out there in Chandler, Arizona. Former Major League Baseball player J.J. Hardy is building a miniature baseball field in his backyard of his Arizona home, and some neighbors aren't happy about it. Hardy is a former shortstop for the Milwaukee Brewers, Minnesota Twins, and Baltimore Orioles. Pam Lang lives across the street from Hardy's house in the neighborhood in Chandler. She said Hardy is building a field of dreams in his backyard for his family and friends. Everybody has a right to enjoy their own yard, but this is something that is beyond reasonable to what you expect your neighbors to tolerate, Lang said. Lang insists she had no idea the baseball field was being built until she noticed a dozen 20-foot poles going up for the field's backstop. Looking at a big fence and bright lights every night is not something Lang wants to be subjected to. I didn't sign up to live next to a baseball field, she said. It's like a commercial, like living next to a Topgolf, you know. Lang says construction started a couple months ago. Apparently Hardy's yard will house more than just a baseball field too. Drone footage of the property shows that a tennis court and a putting green are already on site. KPHO has learned that the former ball player's home is on a county island while Lang's house is in the city of Chandler. But Lang does not want let this go on a technicality. There's an inherent unfairness to this and injustice because he can do whatever he wants because it's county island, and I can't, Lang said. I don't have a recourse because I am bound by all the rules of this HOA. Lang has filed a complaint with the Maricopa County and has learned that Hardy has yet to receive the necessary permits to build the ballpark in his backyard.
Oh. You know what? She didn't sign up to live next to a great athlete like JJ
Absolutely.
Harder, who was one of my favorite shortstops growing up. But she can sign up to sell her house, so get on out of there.
I'll buy it from her.
I would send my kids over there to play baseball every night.
And look, she may be trying to, the Field of Dreams. Joe DiMaggio might be trying to come back. I mean, this may be
This is the place where they all come back.
It could be.
All the big ones.
Is there a cornfield in the picture?
No.
No.
It's Arizona. But there could be.
Yeah. A whole bunch of snakes back there.
A little more information on these. There are still heightened distance requirements that need to be met even on a county island. It's very disappointing and frustrating that all I can do is file a complaint and hope that somebody in the counties feels like listening to me, Lang said. Maricopa County officials said that Hardy has until April 22nd to get the proper permits to finish his Field of Dreams. If he doesn't, some of the concurrent construction may need to come down, officials said. KPHO reached out to the former major leaguer to discuss the neighbors' concern, but a family member said they had no comment. Sounds like, I bet JJ Hardy gets those. I bet she gets those permits.
I bet he does too.
And it's going to be epic. We're going to have to follow this story. There's a great picture on this site of just how beautiful this thing really looks. It's pretty spectacular. It's quite a house too.
Is it?
I mean, it's almost like a mecca there for sports. And the putting green's not just a putting green. It's got a bunker and a chip up area and all that stuff. Dang. But yeah, I mean, that was an interesting one. Thanks, Chef Ross, for sending that one in. And I get it. The lights are bright, but they have blackout shades nowadays. It's a big deal.
Yeah. Come on.
Is it a full field? Is it 400 to center?
I think they said it was a mini baseball.
Mini.
That's why they has to build the stuff so high because you got to stop the home runs. Maybe they'll hit a home run over the 20 feet and it'll hit her house.
No, that really escalates the situation.
That'll make things worse, that's for sure.
Maybe I'll have to use a fungo bat. Does the fungos make it not go as far? Or I don't, anyway, that's a whole nother.
My dad says the word fungo bat every time we're at one of Liam's games.
I don't even know what it is, but I just thought it's funny to say.
Wasn't it like a really thin?
Yeah, it's a little bit thinner. It's what the coach used to hit ground balls and use that for practice.
Yeah, because it just makes you learn how to square the bat on the ball a little better.
No, it's just for the coach to use. It's more for you to have fun and go out there and play ball.
Hence the fung go ball, like you just said in a full sentence.
Yeah.
Whew. Got 3 minutes till the race. I got another one here. I don't know how quickly I can get through it. We'll do it quick. This is from WJHG.com right here in Panama City. This is out there in, looks like Salt Lake City is where this went down. Title of the article is 12-year-old leads police on chase after taking her mother's car without permission. Police in Utah responded to a call about an erratic driver last week who turned out to be an underage girl behind the wheel. The police were notified about the situation when a truck driver called them last Thursday regarding a vehicle swerving on southbound Interstate 15. Utah Highway Patrol caught up with the car, and a short time later, the driving pattern told us definitely something significant was happening, Utah Highway Patrol Lieutenant Jalen Hawks said. But troopers said the girl refused to pull over and then eventually had to do a pit maneuver, causing the car to spin and come to a stop. When they came up to her window, there was really no reaction from her. She was kind of frozen and wouldn't open the door. The door was locked, Hawks said. Troopers made contact with the girl. Her voice was very childlike, and they asked, "What is your birth date?" And then they were like, "Oh my gosh, what in the world is going on?" The Utah Highway Patrol said the 12-year-old girl took off in her mother's car that day without permission. The girl does face a variety of charges, but because of her age, troopers said they're more interested in seeing how they can help her.
Jeez. Do you remember getting behind the wheel for the first time ever? I do. I was scared to death.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, this girl's going
I learned how to drive in New Jersey.
Oof.
It was awful.
I can't imagine.
Yeah. But it teaches you how to figure it all out. It's like driving here, making a left turn on Highway 98. I'm terrified for my kids to be able to learn how to do that.
Yes, sir.
It's scary.
D. Hayes, where'd you learn?
My papa was one of the first people to let me drive. Well, let me.
Were you under 16?
Well, the first time I ever drove, my dad he went into the gas station, and I was probably 5 or 6 years old, and me and my brother got together and took the Buick, I guess, for a spin.
So you can relate to the story.
That's the first memory that I have, and I really didn't remember it. So, like my dad would tell.
Were you the wheel or the pedals?
My brother was the pedals. I was the wheel.
Nice.
So, yeah,
nice.
that is how that situation did go down.
We would have never learned this had that not happened.
But my papa took me driving around like where I don't think it's anymore, but they had a driver's ed course right over there, like off of Frankfurt Avenue on the right side. If you're headed towards Callaway on 98, you take a right on Frankfurt. They got one back there, and then he would just kind of take me driving around in the neighborhood and stuff, and then maybe I'd find my way into the walking park. Who knows?
Yep. There you go. And I know, if you grew up in the South, usually there was a lot of land, so that's how Beth learned driving when she was young. Is just going out in the pastures and driving those stick shift cars. But it is that time, Jay Henley and David hits the sounder. It's the race to Talladega, and the name today, you got to give us a call, 850-215. You got to be quick, so be ready. That name is Russell McCorvey. Russell, give us a call. You've got a few seconds to get that one in there. Otherwise, it's going to go to our buddy Larry yesterday, and looks like Larry's going to be the winner from week 2. That's exciting stuff. And we did have a tie, but I think we sorted out the tiebreaker. We'll talk about that next week. So if you didn't have a chance to win this week, you'll still have one more chance next week, as we'll have one more qualifying action.
No, we're still going to have to figure out that tie.
I like what you said.
2 seconds. Well, you said it, but 2 seconds for Drew Gerhardt, and then 2 seconds for Gator Phil. Also 2 seconds for Jerry Register. So,
the triple tiebreaker.
A conundrum.
Photo finish.
We'll figure it out. Ooh, photo finish. Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. Kind of like Atlanta a couple weeks ago. 3 cars too, right? It was 3.
I think it was.
Yeah. So hey, man, we're just doing it right here on the Inside Drive. But yeah, you have another opportunity next week. If you didn't win and you really want to go, all you got to do is pay attention every morning at 7:15 and 8:15. You'll get the keyword of the day. You text it in 850-215-6290 and your name. That is a very important part of when you text in. Please put your name in there because we don't know who you are unless you put your name. And then you'll hear it announced here on the Inside Drive and the Afternoon Underdogs, 12:15 and 5:15. If you hear your name, you race to the phones, your qualifying time, the fastest one gets you a pair of tickets up there to go see Talladega, Jay's favorite place in the world.
It is.
More than Augusta?
It's up there.
I set you up for that one.
Yeah, you did. It's
Augusta or Talladega?
Probably Augusta.
Yeah.
But Talladega's a close second. Yeah, sure. I miss Darrell Waltrip back in the day. DW, man. Let's fasten those seatbelts tight. Boogity, boogity, boogity. Let's go racing, boys.
What's Keith's word?
Boogabear. Is it booga?
Bugaboo.
Bugaboo.
Boogabear.
Yeah,
I like that. I like that one better. I like that one better.
And to define that, that's just somebody that might have the yips, or somebody, if they're playing golf.
Bugaboo is like something that bothers you.
That bothers you, yeah.
Yes.
Often wrong, never in doubt.
Often wrong, never in doubt. We will never forget that. Dubbed by the great BLJ.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like if I'm missing 4-foot putts, that would be my bugaboo. It's like, all right,
that's something that's wrong.
That's bothering me.
But a bugbear or boogabear is something that you just absolutely love. It's adorable.
Yep.
It's attacking you.
Man, you've been on fire today.
Yeah.
Fridays are always
Friday, man.
Friday's my favorite day.
Friday. I love Friday.
Well, for so many reasons, but the Inside Drive on Friday is always such a good time.
Absolutely.
And it's really because of you.
No.
And we appreciate that.
No.
What song are you going to play us in here in this next intro?
Just whatever.
Taking requests here, 850-215-6290.
We'll
Let
have
Jay make your day.
In this next segment, we'll have Aaron Bearden from Instant Replay Sports Cards coming up to discuss all the things happening down there. And I'm going to ask him a question about, there was Shohei Ohtani. We hadn't talked about it yet today. Don't know if I'm going to have time, but long story short, he hit his first home run with the Dodgers yesterday. A woman caught it, and immediately Dodgers security came to her, and they ended up, I think, trading like a couple bats or a sign, something like that. But it's a controversial thing, and she felt very uncomfortable. So I was going to ask Aaron, if somebody catches a home run ball and it's an important one, obviously there's some steps that happen, but how do you verify that? So when we get back, and interesting to see what Jay will be playing us next in, we'll be with Aaron Bearden, who's a musician himself. Are you going to ask him again what the song was?
Perhaps. We'll see.
The answer is yes.
Yes.
You're going to ask him.
Yeah.
All right, you're listening to Inside Drive live here on ESPN Northwest Florida. We'll be right back.
It's the PCB Hobby Takeover with Todd. Mondays at 5:20 on ESPN Northwest Florida.
That is a very high-end card and very rare.
Todd talks about coins, trading cards, collectibles, and the amazing stories behind them.
It was the first one that's ever come through my door.
Plus, we'll be taking your calls and questions at 850-215-6290. The PCB Hobby Takeover.
A platform for you to do your hobby.
Mondays at 5:20 on the Sports Talk Monster. ESPN Northwest Florida.
Good afternoon. This is Joanna on ESPN Northwest Florida with Friday's weather forecast. Sunny the remainder of the day with temps near 72 and a wind 10 to 15 miles per hour. Clear skies tonight, a light breeze and a temperature of 52. About the same tomorrow, around 73 with sunshine and a wind at 7 miles per hour coming out of the north-northwest. Very warm with a high around 71 and partly sunny Sunday. This forecast is sponsored by Mid-South Lumber, the best little lumberyard in Panama City. Thank you for keeping that dial at ESPN Northwest Florida. Rely on it.
Are you tired of hearing 2 weeks when you call to get your boat worked on? Hey folks, it's Chris Kramer with Kramer Marine and Outdoor, and we'll get you in and back out on the water as quick as possible. We're a full-line Yamaha outboard dealer and Suzuki outboard dealer, and we have master-trained certified mechanics on site. So if it's just an annual service, electronics install, trolling motor install, or all the way up to a full repower, we can take care of you. So stop by and see us in the corner of Frankfurt and 23rd next to Bill Kramer GM, or call us at 850-851-0453.
Hi, I'm Tracy, your diamond girl at Tracy's Fine Jewelry. Shopping for the perfect diamond can be difficult, but that's why I've trained my staff to be helpful and to offer you a stress-free diamond experience. Pick your sparkle and use our easy layaway plan. Every woman deserves an exquisite diamond from your diamond girl at Tracy's Fine Jewelry. We don't work on commissions.
We work for smiles and high dues.
So if you're tired of high-pressure salespeople, stop by and see us today at Tracy's Fine Jewelry.
We're starting fresh.
Fresh when you start.
Locally sourced, farm to radio. The Inside Drive with Ryan Mulvey is live and local. From the Bill Kramer Chevrolet Buick GMC and Kramer Marine Outdoor Studios on ESPN Northwest Florida.
And welcome back. You're listening to the Inside Drive live here on this fun Friday, sitting inside the Bill Kramer Chevrolet Buick GMC and Kramer Marine and Outdoor Studios. Jay bringing us in. He's got one more time to bring us in on this fun Friday. We appreciate that. But it is Friday. It's our 12:20 segment, so that means one thing. We've got Aaron Bearden from Instant Replay Sports Cards on the line. Aaron, how are you today?
Hey, fantastic. How are you guys doing?
We're doing wonderful. It's been a heck of a show so far today. We're having lots of fun. Jay said that the best way for Iowa to win the Final Four game is to bench Caitlin Clark in the first quarter to make a statement.
Wow.
Yes. Bold.
I'm thinking, line brawl 5-on-5 like the Rangers and the Devils.
Oh, it was beautiful. It was beautiful. That reminded me of old school hockey, which I absolutely love.
Oh, goodness. Hey, Aaron, so you went 1 for 1 last week with Goo Goo Dolls and Name. We're keeping with that same kind of 90s genre. Did you hear that last tune to go 2 for 2?
I did not.
Oh!
Play it again?
What do we got?
I'll make him play it again, Aaron, just to put the pressure on him. Just to put the pressure on him.
Matchbox 20?
He gave a guess. He doesn't have his headphones on. Put your headphones on. Back. There you go. All right. He's
Matchbox 20?
What is it?
He said Matchbox 20.
Oh, yeah. Name that song.
Did you get the band right?
Don't know if
Starts
everything's
with
good
P.
enough. I'm a little bit rusty. Is it Push?
There you go.
Bingo.
You're 2 for 2.
He's on fire. I mean, he is a musician by heart. So.
He is, well.
And you do a wonderful job with that beautiful Taylor car, so we appreciate that. All right, Aaron, let's talk about Instant Replay Sports Cards. And I know April's a busy month for you. Weather's getting nice. A lot of new releases coming out. Baseball's underway. What's all going on down there at the store?
Oh, wow. Yeah, this is a big time. A lot of big releases coming out. Vivid Baseball just came out today. That is a super cool product. It's not going to last. They don't print much of it. You get 5 autos and 2 base or non-auto cards, can be numbered. Great autos in this product. Everything from like Sandy Koufax to Mookie Betts to number 1 overall pick, Paul Skeens. A ton of great autos. We sold out of this product last year in about a week, and no more was available. So don't wait on that. Very affordable if you're used to buying stuff from Topps with 5 autos is going to be, $700 or $800 box. I think these are right now coming out at like $190.
Wow, that's a good price for that kind of product.
Yeah, and it's, like I say, a chance at Koufax and some of today's newest, biggest prospects. So that's a lot of fun. Revolution Basketball just came out. So yeah, a lot of cool stuff going on. The Topps Chrome McDonald's All-American basketball came out this week, which has the top prospects going into basketball on the men's and women's side. So a lot of great players in there. Bronny James, Juju Watkins, a lot of great names in that one as well.
So when there's products like that are like the top prospect products, that's kind of where you're kind of doing almost like a futures bet in sports betting, where like if you get one of those names that could pan out to be a future superstar, that's something you want to hang on to and kind of see how it plays out.
Sure, yeah, but you do have a lot of people already who are doing that same thing, so they're paying big money for guys who've never played before. So you can get some of those players that, hey, it may be 3 or 4 years until they reach the highest level of the pros or, whatever, get out of college. But there's already somebody out there speculating that they're going to be huge, so they're paying big money for them right now. And some of those players may never make it. They may change their mind, maybe an injury, who knows. But, it can also be a good thing to maybe go ahead and turn some of those cards.
Yeah, absolutely. So great opportunity.
Yeah, you got to weigh out if there's something you want in your collection. It's like, hey, you pull a card of somebody that may not be a pro for another 4 years. but you can sell that card today and get something you've always wanted. You know, you pull some big autograph of one of these young players, maybe go ahead and sell it and get that card that you know has some legs to it.
Yeah, there you go. Good advice there for sure. For sure. And then, of course, it's a little less than 2 weeks away, but the big break for April is coming up on the 18th. Tell everybody about what that's going to include.
It is, yeah. Our big break will be April 18th, Thursday, when we close shop. We will live stream this on our Facebook page at Instant Replay Cards on Facebook. And it's going to be, I think at this point, it's about 5, football boxes. Everybody's going to buy one random team or more, but you get a random team for $100. And this thing includes looking at Mosaic, Phoenix, Illusions, Origins, and a box of National Treasures. And that's NFL National Treasures, not collegiate. That's the really good stuff. So it also spans several years, 2019, 2020, up to 2023. So a lot of potential there. You know, when you do a product that's only 1 year or a break that only covers 1 year, you may pull a team that you go, wow, if I'd had these guys in last year, they had this great big rookie. This year they don't have anything. When you start doing these breaks where you cover multiple years like that, there are people that are, you know, really good in one of those years, and it gives you a little bit of hope that maybe you just pull the right guy out of that one product.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's
a lot of fun.
That's one of the cool things when you started doing these big breaks is you're not just covering 1 year, you're covering multiple years, which, you know, obviously rookie cards for certain players are a big thing. And when you have the multiple years, it gives you even more of an opportunity. But, you know, looking at your flyer, over $3,000 worth of boxes that you can jump in on for just $100 and get a random team. And you could buy as many of those spots as you want. And I know you always do some extra things for the people who get in early.
We do, yeah. There's always an incentive to not wait until the end, and sometimes that means we'll throw in an additional box and say maybe for the first 10 people to get in or people who get in by a certain date. Sometimes we give a box away and just say, you got to be in by a week before the deadline, and then anybody that's in at that point gets in a separate drawing for a free box. So, do a lot of that kind of stuff. Just encourage people, go ahead and get in it. Hey, we're going to keep adding stuff to it. Part of it is we kind of wait till we get closer and see if something new comes out that we can add in as well. It's kind of hard to speculate right now and say, hey, 2 weeks from now, this box is going to be out. We're going to put it in there. Because the day before it comes out, they may change your mind and hold it for another 3 weeks or something.
Yeah.
So we just kind of like to wait a little bit and know we've got it in our hands before we include it as part of the deal. But, yeah, this is, like you said, multiple years. And with football, rookie autos are the big thing. They get the rookies to sign for less than the vets and the pros. So you can get, there's a 2020 box in here. Well, that was Jalen Hurts rookie year, Joe Burrow, Tua, a lot of great players. You got a better chance of pulling those guys from 2020 than you do out of, say, 2023 when they're all big stars. They want a lot more money now to sign. So it's kind of cool. You've got rookie years like DK Metcalf in here, obviously Stroud. A lot of great players you can pull as rookies out of these products.
Aaron, I know earlier this year, back in January, it looks like Adrian Beltre, talking about MLB baseball and going to Cooperstown, Adrian Beltre, Todd Helton, and Joe Mauer got enough votes to basically get selected or elected into the Hall of Fame. Mm-hmm. What is there a certain percentage? Does the value of that card go up by a certain percentage just off of those of what we know there, or how does that work?
Not as much as people would think, because usually if somebody's going to the Hall of Fame, they were already recognized as a top tier player, or their fans were already collecting them. Yeah. So there's a little bit of a bump. It's not so much in just the value. It's more in people going, oh yeah, I kind of remember that guy. Maybe I didn't have a card of him that I liked before, and now's a good time to go get it while I'm thinking about it.
Yeah.
So it's maybe a little extra interest, more so than a noticeable bump in their price.
I'm noticing, yeah.
An exception is when guys get into the Veterans Committee after a long time. A year or so back, Ted Simmons was elected to the Hall of Fame. Mm-hmm. And Ted Simmons' rookie card was, I think, 1971 tops. He was a great catcher, but he played in an era where a couple of guys like Johnny Bench overshadowed him. So he was never thought of as the best catcher of his era, obviously. But then Ted Simmons gets in on the veterans, I think the Modern Era Committee. They keep renaming it.
Yeah.
And suddenly his card values went up. His rookie card value became a hot item. People went, wait a second, this guy was, Hall of Fame level catcher, and I've never paid attention to him before. So in that case, it helps. But hey, we all knew Todd Helton could hit. We all knew Joe Mauer could hit, Adrian Beltre. So that's less of a surprise to people.
Yeah. Well, it looks like the top three, you've got to get 75% of the votes or more. Looking just beyond that, Billy Wagner came in just a little short. And these two guys right here we know very well, is Gary Sheffield and Andrew Jones. They came just a bit short. Does that automatically qualify them as a top three for 2025? Do you guys know that or no?
Top of my head, I don't know who's coming up new on the ballot. I think you can make a case for those guys. I think Billy Wagner's problem was he came along before Mariano Rivera when teams, maybe from an analytics side, or like a Moneyball side, didn't quite see the value of a closer. And he didn't have the longevity of a Rivera or a Hoffman, but he was certainly dominant and a lot of fun to watch. Yeah. Sheffield, there's always that sort of lingering thing about PEDs that, maybe he's just scaring a few voters away. Maybe they're wanting to make a statement and say, look, yeah, you're going to get in, but we just can't, we can't vote for you over some guys who were 100% first ballot clean guys. Andrew Jones, I don't know. I've gone back and forth on Jones. Great player, seemed like a really fantastic guy. I think some of the voters may think this way. I don't know how you put Andrew Jones in and still Dale Murphy is sitting there waiting on his call.
Yeah. Oh, man. God, I'm emotional.
All that you're always emotional. Is it the Baseball Writers of America that vote on that Hall of Fame inductees? Yes. Okay. Yeah. So it's subjective to a large degree, it seems like. Certainly.
And that's been sort of the worry about some of the really egregious PED guys, that some of the voters that are coming in now, some of the younger writers, that was 25, 26 years ago. Some of those guys were not even watching baseball. They were, infants or toddlers. Yeah, there's some younger guys in there who maybe don't remember that and didn't have that personal feeling of sort of like, wow, those guys lied to me and sort of, they cheated my team and et cetera, that some of the older writers may hold against those players.
Gotcha. Yeah, that makes sense.
So you may see some of those guys picking up some vote. And like I say, Sheffield, if he did it, I don't know exactly. I don't remember all the details of like the Mitchell report here at the moment. But if Sheffield did, I don't think it was on the level of the, Bonds, McGuire, Sosa, Clemens, A-Rod. Some of those guys that just seem to like throw it in everybody's face. So I think maybe there is room that they'll say, you know what, we'll let Sheffield in, kind of like with Mike Piazza. I think Piazza was a statement where they said, look, maybe he was on some PEDs, but he didn't kind of tarnish the record books and the game's image. So we're like, this is what we'll allow, but maybe we don't allow the guys that cross the line.
So cheat, just don't be great at cheating.
Sort of, and that's kind of, unfortunately, that seems to working in a lot of sports.
Oh, man. Interesting. Wild stuff. It's, you start
and
feeling
there's a lot of guys in the Hall of Fame, from over the years that maybe we're not aware of now that we're doing, maybe not steroids, but we're doing things that were outside the rules. Ty Cobb and I think Chris Speaker both got caught participating in throwing games after the 1919 World Series. And the commissioner went to him and said, look, the league cannot afford another scandal. Baseball was really on the verge of just breaking apart, and nobody wanted to see it, and certainly couldn't take it legitimately after the White Sox scandal.
Yeah.
And he kind of just said, look, stop it right now or else you're both just gone.
Yeah.
And he said, I know you've done it, but we don't need to drag this out in public and, get in the papers. So, they knew some of those guys were doing some things like that. But, 100 years later, we kind of, we weren't around then. We don't remember the day-to-day headlines.
Yeah.
Do you think that same with what's going on with Shohei and Ippei, is that going to be like one of the same situations where it's kind of like, hey, we'll sweep this under the rug because of what you bring to baseball?
Right. It could be. I want to hear all the details. I want to see, what did Shohei know? There's a lot, that the public, I think, still doesn't know. There may be some things baseball doesn't know. I think it's been handled very poorly in the sense that they went ahead and fired the translator, and now they're trying to force him to cooperate in the investigation. I'm like, the problem is he's no longer an employee of MLB, so he doesn't have to cooperate now any more than any of us would be compelled to cooperate in an MLB investigation. We don't work for him.
Interesting.
So I think some of those things, maybe in hindsight, they could have handled a little better than they did. But, who knows? I don't know. There's a lot of these situations. Wander Franco, Trevor Bauer, there's a lot of this stuff going on. We're not getting all the details, but, we're getting them presented in certain ways that are kind of making up our minds for us, I think.
I got a quick question on, you have a lot of memorabilia and stuff like that, and a lot of that memorabilia is tied to autographs. Now, last night, I don't know if you saw, but Shohei hit his first home run as a Dodger, and the girl who got the ball, there was some controversy because she was surrounded by security to get that ball back to Shohei and all that. But that aside, how is the market for a non-autographed but a significant ball that was caught by a fan that may not have been turned into back to the player or the team, whatever it may be?
It can be great. It's as far as the value, it's just a matter of proving it. Now, if you're at a game and you catch something like that, there are MLB approved authenticators at every stadium for every game who can put a tamper-proof sticker on it, catalog it, put it in their system, and then you can prove to everybody, hey, this was Ohtani's first Dodger home run. There was an issue several years ago with Albert Pujols with his, he hit it in Detroit. I don't remember if it's 600th home run, 660 at the time made, something like that, milestone. A gentleman caught it and decided he wanted to try to sell it to make some money. He thought Pujols would pay him a bunch of money. So he left the stadium. And after the game, Albert Pujols said, I'm not interested in buying it. He said, I don't play the game to buy memorabilia back off fans. He said the guy can keep the baseball. Once the gentleman realized Pujols was not going to offer him a blank check, he came back the next day and wanted to just give it to him, like in exchange for a selfie or something. And the problem was he had not gotten the ball authenticated before he left the stadium. So, I'm not going to say it's worthless, but, boy, it was sure a lot harder to prove that he brought back the same baseball.
Yeah,
from the day before.
And that was going to be my follow-up question. How do they know? But you answered that question, is they got people right there at the stadiums to verify that ball right then and there. That's pretty cool.
Quite a few stadiums, they will sell those items during the game. I know in the at Truist Park, you can go, I think after the 5th inning, 7th inning, something like that, go to the game-used store inside the stadium, and you can buy like foul balls, and even the bases. You can buy some things that were used in that day's game, and they've all been authenticated by MLB. They come with, the sticker, the certificate, and you can go home with something used in the game you just watched.
That's interesting.
I had no idea.
I didn't either.
That's pretty cool. That is pretty cool. That's awesome. Hey, Aaron, we got about 30 seconds to go. Remind everybody what your normal stuff you got coming up this tonight and tomorrow.
Sure. Tonight's Kids Night, 6 to 8 p.m. Bring the kids down. They have a lot of fun. Open packs, play games, a lot of cool stuff. Tomorrow, we have breaks at 12 o'clock, in-store hobby box breaks, football, baseball, whatever people want to do. A lot of fun as well. Come on down and get some great cards.
Awesome. There you go. Aaron, we appreciate your time as always, and enjoy if you watch any of the Final Four action tonight, as I think this is one of the bigger nights in women's college basketball coming up.
Awesome. You guys have a great weekend. Everybody out there, take care.
Absolutely. That's Aaron Bearden with Instant Replay Sports Cards right down there in the Stanford Station Shopping Plaza next to Academy Sports and Outdoors and Sweet Frog Creamer. When we get back, Jay, what are you going to play? We got some requests. I'll go over them over the break. You're listening to The Inside Drive live here on ESPN Northwest Florida.
Atlanta Braves baseball is back.
Struck out another one. Max Fried is perfect. Swing and a drive. That's hammered deep right.
We're your exclusive radio home for the Atlanta Braves.
First pitch of the game nails Ronald Acuna Jr. And now the Braves are coming out of their dugout looking at a rain.
Hear every exciting home run, every strikeout, and every thrilling victory on 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
Do you use the expensive blue or yellow pills to charge your sex life? Are you thinking about it? What if we can promise you the same results for less than $3 a pill? If you're paying $20 a pill for the other pills, you're getting taken to the cleaners. Our pills deliver the exact same results for less than $3. You'll save more than $16 a pill for the same results. And And right now, radio callers will get 44 blue or yellow pills for $120 with free discreet shipping. You can save more than $700 off pharmacy prices. Charge your sex life now and save a ton of money. Call now and get your 44 pills and save over $700 and qualify for free shipping. Stop overpaying and call right now.
Paid for by Steel Man Pills. 800-261-7365. 800-261-7365. 800-261-7365. That's 800-261-7365.
Hey Bay County, it's Dean Jackson with Old Glory Washing Solutions and the one and only BBIA. It's that time of year again. The Great American Home and Recreation Expo is back this Friday and Saturday at the Bay County Fairgrounds. Over 70 vendors, ranging from home improvement and landscaping to boats and ATVs. This free event is for the whole family, with food, live music, and even kids workshops. Don't miss it. The Great American Home and Recreation Expo this Friday and Saturday, April 5th and 6th from 9 to 5 at the Bay County Fairgrounds. We'll see you there.
For the Inside Drive with Ryan Mulvey and Jay Henley.
This man is destroying golf.
Broadcasting live from the Bill Kramer Chevrolet Buick GMC and Kramer Marine and Outdoor Studios.
You may be right, but our ratings are up and we're attracting new youthful sponsors.
ESPN Northwest Florida.
Must be your skin. I'm sinking in. It must be for real. Hey, Jay, you did that on the fly. Very impressive in that one. That was a request there from one of our listeners on Facebook. So a little Glycerin by Bush, one of my favorite 90s bands.
Great memory.
Fantastic. Saw them at Red Rocks when they played that. Nothing but chills. Nothing but chills. But you are listening to the Inside Drive live here on ESPN Northwest Florida. And it's our last segment of this fun Friday. Been a fun day. Had a great show. And we got to do some pick'ems. But first, I want to make sure we get, Atlanta Braves have their first home game tonight up there at Truist Park. And starting lineup. Who's on the mound tonight, Jay? Do you know?
Are we back in another Strider?
Yep, Spencer Strider on the mound tonight. The one Liam always uses to beat me in MLB The Show. He has certainly taken over the ability. It didn't last very long. It was 2 games and then the rest. Now he plays all the time, so it's not really fair. But he's learning a lot about the players and all that stuff. But yes, Spencer Strider on the mound. I believe the first pitch is 6:50 tonight. 6:20 tonight. 6:20 tonight, going to the little series against the defending NL champions, the Arizona Diamondbacks.
Who's going for Arizona?
I do not know. If I had to guess, I would say Gallen, but I don't have that one off the top of my head.
I guess I'll check it out, though.
I think he's on my fantasy baseball team, so I think I saw the green P next to his name. I hope so. Maybe not, because that would probably be bad if the Braves have a good outing. Now I'm learning that it's just like football, right? You got to root and be careful and all that stuff.
That's crazy, man. We are 7 years into that Truist Park up there.
Time is
no kidding. I just feel like that was just like 3-4 years ago. Anyways. Yep.
Good stuff.
Truist Park.
Good stuff. Real quick, I'll go over the local games for tonight. I think there's 3 of them coming up on the baseball side of things. Arnold trying to continue that undefeated start. They've already set the record for the best start in Bay County baseball history, but they're playing, I think it's the final game for this tournament over there at New Public Sports Park. They're playing Hickman County, and Arnold is 15-0, trying to make it 16-0. North Bay Haven is playing Bay at Bay. North Bay Haven's 5-11. Bay is 8-7, and then on Walton is traveling to Rutherford. Both teams are 5-9. 3 p.m. start for the Hickman County and Arnold game if you want to slide over there to Public Sports Park and watch that awesome game at that beautiful facility. But we'll keep you updated on that. All right, you got it.
Tommy Henry.
Ooh.
Never faced the Braves before either, so.
Nice. Interesting.
No stats for him.
Against the Braves.
Against the Braves.
All right, it's pick 'em time, Jay. We got a lot to go over. We're going to do all 4 Final Four games. We got a NHL game, a basketball game, and then we got to pick a golf pick from current top 5. And I'm also throwing in an Augusta National women's amateur pick from the top 5 as well. Let's knock out the NHL, the NBA, and those picks first, and then we'll circle back and do all 4 of those Final Four games so we can talk about them a little bit more.
We're going to do a NASCAR pick as well?
Yeah, we always do a NASCAR pick.
All right, I got you.
As always, the steady pick. You have Chase Elliott. David Hayes has who's probably going to win the Cup. Denny Hamlin, and I have Joey Logano. All right. You're going to go first on the steady NASCAR pick.
Oh, steady NASCAR pick?
Mm-hmm. Oh, no, the wild card.
Oh, the wild card. All right. A few years ago, I don't know if you remember this, Ryan. Ross Chastain took the wall. He rode the wall around and like gained 7 spots to go into the playoffs.
And his car was still. This was at the end of the race.
Yeah, okay. I don't know if you you don't remember it, but man,
I think
crazy. Yeah, crazy. That's banned now. You can no longer ride the wall like that. He went like 140 miles an hour around the corner. You'll have to watch it.
That was great. Watermelon.
So I'm going Ross Chastain. That's his place. He's a half-mile kind of guy.
I was going to say, if he didn't pick Ross Shane after all that, I'd be very disappointed.
Let's go Ross.
All right, David, who are you going with?
I'm going to go with Ryan Blaney.
All right, perfect, because it's going to work out for me. I'm going to pick Martin Truex Jr.
You just got 2 steady picks.
That's it.
You're a twin.
But, I mean, I'm just going off of odds, and Truex is 13-2.
Yeah,
I like it.
Denny Hamlin's 9-2, of course. Ryan Blaney's 7-1. Kyle Larson's 15-1. Christopher Bell 8-1. Your boy Ross Chastain is 20-1.
You can go with the John Hunter Nemechek. He's like plus 20,000.
Yeah, you could. You could. He is up there. He is up there. That is for sure. All right. Next, let me pull up the Augusta National leaderboard because they're not playing today. They're doing their practice round. Everybody gets to play at Augusta National and Florida State. Lottie Woad is currently leading the tournament, and then you got Clemente, Filler, Sambach, Ting, Lindbald, and Ryquist, Borgia, and Darling, Koo, Galsky, Shoemaker, all tied at 1 under. David Hayes gets the first pick in this one. Good luck remembering all that.
I'm going to go with the name that stands out to me, a long-distant cousin of Roberto Clemente. I'll go with whoever Clemente.
I like that. Only 2 strokes back there from Lottie Woad, and I got next. So I'm going to take Lottie because I want FSU to have a Augusta National women's champion. So I'm going to take Lottie Woad in that. So give me extra rooting power tomorrow.
I'm going with the one with most syllables at this point, and she's tied for 13th. Is Fernandez?
No, you got to pick in the top 5.
Oh,
that's why I read all the top 5 names. There's quite a few of them, though.
Yeah.
All right,
Jay's like, I'll take someone who missed the cut.
Rydqvist.
Spell that for me.
RYD.
Okay.
QV. IST.
Sounds Swedish to me.
Okay. Could be.
All right. What is she at? -1, -2?
She is at -1.
Okay.
Yep.
So you're taking a little bit of gamble there, but anything could happen tomorrow at Augusta.
Yes, sir.
It's going to be exciting to watch. I think that coverage is on the Golf Channel from somewhere around noon to 3 or maybe a little bit earlier than that. But it's a fun one to watch, and I encourage you doing it. And I can't wait to hear from our caller yesterday when he gets back from going up there first time to Augusta National and seeing what happens. All right, real quick, golf pick from the top 5 on the PGA Tour right at this very moment. You got Ashke Beata is at -10. Brendan Todd is at -7. Russell Henley at -7. Justin Lauer -6. And Rory McIlroy bringing in the top 5. No more ties on that one. I get to go first on this one. I'm going to take, let's see, it would be easy to take Ashke Beata, but I'm going to take Rory McIlroy in this one. And as much as I don't want to, I've already got the favorite in the Augusta National, so I'll take McIlroy. You're up next, David. Or not David, Jay.
Oh, I got to go with Cousin Russell. He's a Georgia Bulldog. Cousin Russell.
Oh, my pick. Dadgummit, man.
Well, now Jay's got the opportunity to take the leader.
Yeah.
Well, who's going to go lower than Justin Lower? No, I'm going to go with, can I go to the top 6?
Yeah, if you want to.
I'll take Jordan Spieth.
Okay. He had a hole-in-one yesterday.
Yeah, I saw a little notification on that.
That was pretty cool. All right, now back to David. We got the Panthers and the Bruins, a pretty top matchup there in the NHL coming up on Saturday.
Oh, yeah. Florida's been struggling a little bit. It's in Boston as well. Yeah, give me the Bears.
The Bruins in that one. All right, I'm going to take the House Money Cats. They're trying to push a little bit here in the playoffs. So I'm going to go with the Florida Panthers. Jay Henley, who do you got?
Give me a spin of the wheel, Ryan.
That's so good.
Boston Bruins.
Boston Bruins. I was about to say, you better keep going. My lung capacity's not as good as it used to be. All right, so we got the 2 Bruins and a Panther. Lots of mammals there in that pick.
Yeah.
All right, next you got another big matchup in the NBA. You got the Knicks at the Bucks. That game is on Sunday. Did you just pick first?
Yeah, I think so, yeah.
Okay.
I did.
feel like you hadn't had a chance to.
I may have.
All right.
Let's go Bucks.
All right, you pick first in this one. You going with the Bucks?
Yep.
All right. David Hayes, who are you going with?
I don't know if Jalen Brunson's going to be able to put up 60 in this one. I'll take Milwaukee as well.
All right, the Bucks. I'm going to take the New York Knickerbockers, see if I can gain some ground on this as I'm falling ever so further behind. Now I'm 16 points behind.
Oh, my God.
181 to 165. Yep, 16 points behind. It's those double downs. They backfired. They backfired on me as it worked out good for you. All right, Jay. I'll let you lead us off again. We've got let me pull up the odds so I can get you some information here. We got those games again. The Final Four women's games will be on tonight right here on ESPN Northwest Florida. NC State, South Carolina at 6 p.m. UConn at Iowa at 8:30. Followed by tomorrow, Purdue at NC State at 5 p.m. Alabama, UConn at 8 p.m. All right, odds in the first game. South Carolina is an 11.5-point favorite over NC State. Is the Wolfpack destined to make it to the national championship, or does South Carolina continue their undefeated ways?
Dang. I mean, dang. NC State is on a roll. They're going to continue on. Let's go NC State. They haven't lost in like a month, right?
You're confusing the men and the women.
Oh, shoot.
But you already said NC State. So I typed it. No, I'm just kidding. If you want to change your pick, change your pick.
No, I'll go NC State.
All right.
I'll go underdog.
That's why you have 138.
I'm going to go with South Carolina in this one to keep it rolling. Now, if it was with the points, I'd still take South Carolina.
Yeah, I agree with you too. I've got a little small parlay for tonight, and yes, it includes NC State with the points, and actually no, it includes South Carolina giving up -11, and then Iowa giving up 2.5 as well. So that leads us to the Iowa and UConn game. David Hayes, you are first. I picked USC, by the way.
All right,
I just think they're going to win the national championship.
Parlay, I can't believe it's not better. I'm going to go. I'm going with UConn, man. That's my champion, so I'm going to continue to ride with them. We'll see if Clark can overcome Paige Buchers.
There you go. I'm going to take Iowa Hawkeyes in that one. I think what we were talking about earlier on the show, the added pressure, not winning a national championship, she's just one of those players that rises to the occasion when the pressure is the highest, and I think they get the win tonight, and that's the Iowa Hawkeyes. Who you going with, Jay Henley?
They're going to bench Caitlin the first quarter, and they're going to come out and win, and Iowa all the way.
So again, the key to success for the Iowa Hawkeyes in the 2024 Final Four is to put the best player in the country on the bench in the first quarter, so it makes it even more dramatic when they come back and win.
Let's do it.
Hey, I like it. To each his own.
I'm pretty sure Paige's last name is actually Beckers, but I'm still going with Buchers.
I like Bucher better.
Buchers just sounds. Let's
like
say it how it looks, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
Hi-yes, David Hi-yes.
I mean, Ferris Bueller. It's got very similar spelling there. So
exactly.
You got to keep
Bueller.
You got to keep it consistent.
Bueller. All
right. So 1, 2. Now it's to me. All right. The first game here on the men's side, again, that'll be right here on ESPN Northwest Florida, is the NC State Wolfpack versus the Purdue Boilermakers. Zach Edey versus DJ Burns. I think NC State's run comes to an end, unfortunately, tonight. Purdue is just too much for NC State to handle. They've been on borrowed time for a long time. Playing great. My heart hopes they win, but my head doesn't think they do, so I'm going with the Purdue Boilermakers, who are heavily favored in this game. Next up, Jay Henley.
Can't get through Big Boy Burns. I think NC State wins this one handedly over.
NC State going to
They win it handedly?
Handedly.
Okay.
Handedly.
What's handedly in Jay Henley's mind?
15 points.
15
points.
Yep.
Let's go. Tonight is going to be fun.
I mean, they are favored. It's dropped down a little bit since we last talked. It's 8.5-point favorite right there. So not too far off what Vegas is saying. About double, but all good. All right, you got NC State in both.
You're taking DJ Burns, right? And North Carolina State by 15.
Yeah.
All right, let's go.
Yeah. So, whoop.
Yeah. Switch the old switcheroo on them. I'm going to, I got the lead right here, so I'm going to go with both the underdogs in the championships. I really think UConn and Purdue are the better teams, but I'm going to go with North Carolina State tonight.
All right, there you go.
Keep that gas pedal going, because I'll come get you.
I heard what he said. He said, I'm going with both the underdogs, so that tells me one thing here on his next pick. He is taking the Alabama Crimson Tide, who are plus 500 on the money line, and an 11.5-point favorite against number 1 team in the nation.
Putting $500 on that, dude. Half my paycheck.
There you go. There you go. Some people
Ralph
do
Jackson,
that. Heading
baby.
down to Atlantic City and betting the farm.
Yep.
Some good stories with that kind of stuff. All right. I am going to take the Yukon Huskies in this one. Again, I need to make up some ground, but I also have been saying throughout this whole tournament, Yukon just looks dominant against every team they've played. They haven't really had a hiccup yet. Bama's first Final Four ever. Moment gets a little big. Typically a football school. I'm going to take the Huskies in this one. Jay, last pick of the pick'em.
There's not enough natty trophies in that trophy room in Tuscaloosa. I think UConn wins against Alabama.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah. Well, there's no basketball trophies in that one.
Yeah, but just all in all, just from an Alabama natty championship.
There's not enough, or there's too many?
There's no more room.
Oh,
There's not enough room.
Yeah, because you said there's not enough. Not enough trophies.
Yeah,
I was like, they've got several basketball or football national championships, amongst other things. So you are also going with the Yukon Huskies.
Yes, sir.
All right, I like it. Those picks are locked in. We'll review those on Monday. And again, you can listen to all 4 of those Final Four games right here on ESPN Northwest Florida, with the national championship women games being on Sunday. That'll also be live here on ESPN Northwest Florida. And then on Monday, it's the national championship on the men's side, but also the start of one of the best weeks of the year, Masters Week. We'll have heavy Masters Week coverage next week. Lots of guests from up in that area, golf, fun stuff. And of course, we are doing the Blasted Bay Point. Don't forget to sign up for that as well. Follow our Facebook page for all of that information. Afternoon Underdogs coming up at 4 p.m. this afternoon. Beautiful weekend in store. Y'all get out and have some fun. We appreciate you listening to the Inside Drive. Jay, leave them with one word.
Have a good weekend.
Or 4. You've been listening to the Inside Drive live here on ESPN Northwest Florida. Y'all take care.
ESPN Northwest Florida presents the madness of college basketball. 68-10.